A nice impression. Who did that, Melty?
No, it was me.
No,
Oh, you did.
Yeah, Ewan always does the good Sleet impression.
At least I try.
Indeed you are. Alright, we should be about live right about now.
Yeah.
And people are going to be confused because we suddenly talk about Ewan doing a Sleet impression without them hearing it. So Ewan, do another Sleet impression.
Maybe after this little jingle.
Dissected Alive.
There you go. Now we can officially begin. Hello everyone. Hello Linda. Hello David. Hello Ria Rhino. We're back in the saddle with a regular Dissected again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Sure, has been a while.
Yeah.
Indeed it has been.
Pre-recorded for Christmas, and then last time it was basically you, Elise, and Melty talking about Frontiers.
And you all sitting it out, letting you recover from the festive days.
Yeah, I guess in my case that was more of the start of my New Year's resolution to drop the whole okay, I'll drop the whole oath of silence, no more snarkiness, no more taking cheap pot shots at Sega, no more classic Sonic fans are evil Nazis and yabba dabba. Yeah.
All right, we'll see how long you'll keep it up before you're tempted again.
Well, don't worry, we're here. We're here to help you.
I'm doing fine right now. Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's good to hear. Yeah, and of course, Sonic Prime has just finished, so I haven't quite seen it, so I'm not talking too much about it. But if anyone wants to say something about Sonic Prime's exciting conclusion.
Are you sure with all the stuff we got planned today?
That's not a good idea, no. But as usual, I have a little bit of small talk before we begin officially. So.
Well, also, I want to get my thoughts together before I give an official review. So
fair enough. Yeah, just not the official review. It's just like a quick thought. It's like, well, what was it like? Happy it's over? Sad it's over?
I'll just give my quick thoughts on just Sonic Prime in general. So yeah, Sonic Prime. I like the first season, setting up and the characters, new voices, and all that other stuff. But seasons 2 and 3, it felt like a good chunk of the episodes just kind of blended in together with so much fight scenes and whatnot. And hey, I like a good fight scene, but this one it went a little overboard with that and really slowing down the pacing. And yeah, by the end of it all the supposed claims, the show's canon to the games, and the way it ended, then yeah, it really comes off that those statements were just nothing more than soulless marketing. But overall, Sonic Prime's mixed, and if this really is the end of the series, then this is surprisingly going to be the shortest-lived Sonic TV show. Yeah, it just beats out Sad AM Sonic by 3 less episodes. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's only one story, so I guess it makes sense. And they already.
But yeah, who knows if it's going to continue on? There's already who knows if they're just taking a break or they're secretly working on it. I don't know.
I mean, the whole show is about a singular situation, right? Like the shattering of the crystal. So as soon as you fix that, the show is over. So you can't really follow it up further, can you? I mean, what do you expect after this?
Yeah. I mean, the ending does sort of end on a cliffhanger, although to me, I didn't really see it like that, but we'll get more into that once we're all caught up with Sonic Prime.
Is it like an actual cliffhanger or more an, here we go again?
I was thinking that too, yeah.
Well,
we'll just wait and see. Yeah, wait and see, Roger.
Fair enough. I guess we'll have a proper discussion at some other time. So for now, we keep it at this. Yeah, anyone else has anything to say about Prime, or shall we just jump into Sonic Underground?
Shadow's still best boy.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie. I love the way that Shadow was portrayed in this show. I want to see this characterization return. Yep.
We can only hope.
They even make a joke about Dr. Deep even calls him Edgelord, and Shadow is just not amused by it.
And here, what makes that even funnier is that Hugh has not been an edgelord this whole show. He's just been focused, practical, and determined.
Yeah.
So
If anything, it's projection on Dr. Deep's part.
Yeah. It's like Shadow has not been an edgelord in this whole show. So
And it's always weird when the characters are like being addressed as like a negative characterization you had in the past. I mean, that's kind of like with Sonic Frontiers, where in the Japanese version, Amy is like reflecting on, "Oh, I was always this lovesick girl running after Sonic." And I was thinking about, when is the last time I saw you behave like that? It was like Sonic Rush or something. Like, it's been a very long time since you really had that personality. So it was kind of weird when you suddenly like reflect back on that. So I guess it's the same. Like, Shadow's is stuck with the edgelord reputation, whether it makes sense or not.
Although, if we're actually going to label a character as edgelord in this show, it's not Shadow.
Yeah, that's our fucked boy, I guess. Oh, well, whatever. Hey, edgelords can be fun characters, so who cares anyway? Could always be worse. Right, so, shall we move on to Sonic Underground then? Just get right to the case, the chase, the whatever.
Chase case?
The chase case, there you go. Alright, my wife has prepared some fun little intros for the episodes to give it a little extra personality, so we'll jump to that.
Oh.
Let's see how this one goes.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, now I have to figure out how to immediately do a full screen, so not all this stupid junk is on the screen all the time. Awkward!
Oh, little round of applause for Sylvia's editing work there.
Adds a little personality, yes.
Wrong button, whoever that was.
Well, it's also celebration sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Right, so, Sonic Underground, the deepest fear. Anyone wants to do synopsis?
Staring at someone.
Dun dun dun. Fine, I guess I'll do it. So, we start off with a wonderful nightmare sequence. Sonic is dreaming that he's Captain Ahab fighting the Kraken. But the Kraken drags his ship down and Sonic drowns. Reinforcing that, just like in every other series, Sonic Underground version of Sonic cannot swim. So, of course, we're right about to go to an actual water adventure this time. Our heroes have received a letter that they have to meet up with Queen Lena at the bay. So off they go. But Sonic is terrified of the water, so he just jumps out of the van and starts running. I'm not sure how that's going to fix his problem, but whatever. Anyway, he thinks he sees a statue of the Queen, but of course it's actually a statue of Robotnik, covered up by a weird Sleet cosplaying as a sheet. Anyway, and we immediately start with the crazy action scenes of this episode. So Sonic is surrounded by endless enemies. They keep shooting at him, and it's a big, long chase scene, and everyone is useless. And Sonic is super indestructible here. But he basically ends up just making this statue fall on top of the bad guy's big ship, and that ends that fight. Anyway, then he goes back to Sonia and Maniac, making the whole sequence pointless. But hey, it was a fun action sequence, and a lot of beautiful backgrounds. Anyway, so they find their way to a weird cathedral, carnival, weird building on top of a ship, which is where they had to meet up with the Resistance, and they meet up Captain, I don't remember his name, but he has a funny voice.
Weege!
Yes, Captain Squeege! Yeah. You know, like a squeegee.
Was an awesome face expression and a great voice. But yeah, and he reveals that he's the only member of the Resistance, because everyone else wants to work with Robotnik, because there's a big scary sea monster out there, and Robotnik is the only one who can take it down. But of course Sonic and friends disagree and think they can take down the monster, so off they go, except for Sonic, who runs off scared again. Anyway, the ship is being under attack. It almost wait, I lost myself here. What is it, Ewan?
Wait, why am I suddenly being told to do this?
Sorry, I thought you made a sound, but whatever. Anyway, Sonic is walking around town. He's still so scared of water, all of a sudden he can't even cross the bridge. Anyway, eventually he discovers that the Robotnik has a submarine stationed around in town, and he's, of course, the one who's actually the sea monster. So Sonic wants to warn the others, but he's scared of water, so he starts first screwing around with the light tower with a tiny umbrella. Not sure how that works, but cartoon logic. But they just think the tower is malfunctioning, and later Sonic is screaming at them through a loudspeaker, but our great captain just thinks that's the sound of fog. I assume they're referring to the fact that fog reflects sound back to you, otherwise that makes no sense, but whatever. I like the captain's stupid face.
I think it's more of he mistook it for a foghorn.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Although he didn't really say that. Anyway, then Sonic jumps into a boat and goes after them instead in person. Of course, he's immediately under attack by robots. He falls out of the boat and has to ski lift after it. And eventually falls in the water and almost drowns, but then he gets rescued by the actual Moby Dick, the scary sea monster who does exist, but is actually a friendly monster. Or at least we think so. He looks like a horrible monster, the evil monster, but hey, he's nice. Don't judge on their looks. So he gives him a lift to the ship, and Sonic warns Sonic, Sonia Manic, for that the bad guys are coming, which is absolutely pointless because before he even finished his warning, they're already under attack. The ship is sinking, so our captain immediately absorbs all the water, which is a pretty awesome skill he has. And Sonic and his friends defeat the bad guys by just singing their song, and they're such terrible singers that their ship immediately explodes, saving the day. And then they learn that the ship is called Queen Alina, so they were never actually meeting their mom, they were just meeting the ship. Everything was for nothing, the end.
No, quick correction. They believed at first that Alina had called them there, but then they discovered the ship was called the Queen Alina, and they're like, oh, okay, this is what we were actually called here for. Only for the reveal at the end to be that Captain Squeech did not summon them to this town.
Alright,
it was just pure coincidence.
Or if it's just
Queen
Alina.
Was it? Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Or Queen Alina did actually summon them there.
Yeah. Or it's just more of a vanity thing.
Probably.
What the ship telling them, like, oh, you could find me here.
Plot twist, Queen Alina is the ship. She just morphed into one.
Wind Waker Alina. Yeah.
The show's up again.
Turns out this whole time that Queen Alina was Dingo's cousin, and they could both shapeshift.
I mean,
turned out their mother was a folk the whole time.
Alina once.
That would have been a great twist. But yeah, so, any thoughts other than the fact that I suck at doing synopsises?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Luke, you first.
Of course. Oh, thank you. I'll just say there's a lot of great stuff going on in this episode, like the Moby Dick parody at the beginning, Sonic briefly turning into a bullet as he goes into the port, and also I've noticed that how Robotnik's statue looks a bit crude looking. Like when I first saw it, it kind of looks a bit like Orson Welles, and when we see it, and when he falls over, it kind of looks a bit weird due to him having closed eyes. I also like the design of the ship due to having a cathedral on there, and of course you also got Captain Squeech, who I thought was voiced by assumed was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried at first, but apparently it's not. And
yeah, his voice sounded familiar to me too. I thought it was from Curse of Monkey Island or something.
Speaking of which,
yeah, that's definitely not Gilbert Gottfried. No.
Speaking of which, when Sonic meets Moby Dick, he's voiced by Gary Chalk. So I was like, hey, he sounds awfully a lot like Robotnik there.
Yeah.
He's not getting as many lines as Robotnik. I mean, Robotnik barely shows up in his show.
No, he's voicing the well here. But and also I like the bits where Sonic tries different ways to get Sonia and Mac's attention because he couldn't swim or go anywhere near the water.
Yeah, that's fun. I especially love the captain's face. He looks so derpy there.
Yeah.
Ignoring all the hits he's getting.
Trypophobia, I think Captain Squeech might be a little off-putting.
I bet, yeah.
Kind of trypophobia or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I said trypophobia. It's a fear of holes.
There's quite a view, yes.
Yeah, that weird sea sponge-looking character, yeah.
Yeah, the the love child of SpongeBob SquarePants and Mrs. Puff.
Oh no.
Yeah, the
Oh
great-grand-
no!
Yeah, SpongeBob's,
Oh no.
SpongeBob's kooky grandfather that they don't talk about.
There you go.
Actually, looks more like SpongeBob if he went naval.
So there's like a hilarious scene that's just like unintended joke on top of unintended joke, and it's just like, so Manic has this proof of concept of like, oh, we can use sonar to determine the size of an object underwater, and like Sonic is a little skeptical, and they're like, okay, so how do we prove that? And he's like, okay, I got this tub of water here, jump in. And of course Sonic doesn't want to do it because he's afraid of water, and Sonia doesn't want to do it because she'll get her hair wet. And so Captain Squidgy's like, I'll do it, and jumps in and just absorbs all of the water immediately. He's like, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, so much for the test.
Yeah, and then so they help him, they wring him out and get all the water back, and then they just leave without proving Manic's concept.
Because they have no one to get into the water except Manic himself, but then there's no one to deal with the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dudes, it'll totally work, trust me.
And then when they use it on sea, it never serves any purpose other than finding out that something is coming. Yeah.
Yeah, although it is a true thing with sonar because animals, like sea mammals, they do sonar. So.
Indeed, echo the dolphin, like we're talking about.
So technically, Manic is right. It's just maybe the reason they don't need to prove that point is because, well, they have scientific evidence with marine mammals.
Yeah, Manic is right, but the thing is, like, Sonic was skeptical of it, and they never prove it.
Oh, okay.
Just assume it'll work.
Yeah.
Poor Manic never gets to prove himself right.
At the moments he does, Sonic shuts him down.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Poor Manic.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd for him to be the science guy anyway. Because you'd think as the thief and the poor guy, he's not like that educated. Sonia should be the one who knows this. But hey, it's cool to give him some extra dimension and stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, also, when they're, it's like, when they ring out, Captain Squeeze, don't Sonic and Sonia also get wet?
Well,
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Or get splashed?
Yeah, I think
Sonic
Manic is like the
just
only.
runs off.
Yeah, it seems like Manic's the only one that doesn't get wet. And
Like,
that's why
he
he's
jumps
like
into the tub.
So at that point, Sonia should be able to jump in the water, but I guess at that point, nobody's interested anymore. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty...
There was also this...
Yeah.
There was this dumb joke early on where, like, when Sonic rejoined Sonia and Manic in the van after discovering Port Mobius, Sonic asked them what took them so long, and Manic says, like, she didn't want to drive any faster. She's like, the wind messes up my hair! And, like,
Oh
they're
yeah,
inside of a van!
yeah. I mean, it's not like a van with like the top down. No, it's a solid, big thing.
It's like, so what the heck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to bring up the townsfolk that decide to hunt down Sonic. One of them resembles the big-mouthed Resistance member.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's a turncoat.
Oh no! Not the big
It's
mouth
just that
alien.
guy's...
Yeah.
Let's just call him Fred.
Yeah.
Glub Jibbo.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's call him Fred.
Yeah,
Fred's the big mouth.
Yeah, Fred the big mouth alien. Best Sonic
Yeah.
Underground character.
I did think it was neat that it was a neat concept that there's this entire town of people that are loyal to Robotnik, but like the reason why is pretty dumb. It's just like, oh, Robotnik can protect us, and instead of just like people who actually like believe in his ideology or anything.
I guess they took that one scene with Queen Alina too seriously. Like, oh, I will never abandon my people, and then she quickly abandons them.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah. It's not that Robotnik has much of an ideology to believe in anyway. I mean, what is his philosophy anyway, other than give me money?
Power.
We
The
don't
robots.
have money.
Give me money and I will not turn it into mindless robots. It's simple.
It's not too unbelievable.
Not much of ideology, more a threat, but whatever.
Yeah. It's also weird to, like, throughout the, like, first half of the episode, Sonic is, like, pretty blatant, even if he's, like, denying it about his fear of water, and yet Sonia and Manic just do not catch on at all. You're like, oh, why is he acting so weird around water?
Well, Manic says, like, I know Sonic hated water, but... he's like, now he's acting like he's afraid of it. You know, it's like, you guys know he doesn't like water, so why are you so surprised that he wants to avoid it at all costs?
I guess they're so used to him being super brave, it doesn't catch on to them. Anyway, can I say this episode has amazing backdrops? I love the paintings back. It's also the first time I actually see this green and blue skies. Like, before this, every episode always looked miserable, like a hellscape. This is the first time it actually looks kind of beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sorry, someone was trying to say something.
Anyone?
Maybe not.
No, I guess I will say like it's like I do like port settings in general.
Yeah, it's a beautiful setting, absolutely.
Yeah, like by the ocean with the lighthouses and there's just something, even in real life, there's just something about the aesthetic of a port town that is really captivating.
Yeah. Agreed. I also have to say I love the action scenes here. They're very dynamic. I absolutely love when Sonic is like on top of the Fennec shooting his lasers and then they fall off the boat or fall off the dock into the ship and then crash through the cathedral with all the chairs being crashed all over the place. Like, that's an awesome shot. I love it. It's very dynamic.
And yet the captain wasn't that fussed.
Yeah, he's surprisingly chill about them destroying his entire cathedral. Like, just another day in the Sonic universe. Just another gun truck crashing through your building or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like it happens on a regular basis.
In Sonic's universe, yes.
My chapel is destroyed. Must be Thursday.
Either that or like when it comes to Sunday and yet there's that one person that's running late and they just have to smash into the cathedral like saying, sorry I'm late, and just hitting everyone at the process.
I do find it very...
oh no!
There was a bit of a silly moment where Dingo disguised himself as a sea boy and he knows Sonia and Manic sailing off, says, oh, better tell Dingo, and he just like paddles off. Tell him.
After fighting with a bird first. With his seagull.
Yeah. Also, when he gets back and Sleet turns him back into Dingo, there's like a brief little gag about, oh, apparently Dingo can't swim either. And then, like, it's never mentioned again, and even at the end of the episode, Sleet and Dingo are both just floating in the ocean.
Oh, speaking of Sonic can't swim, actually, he does in this episode for a brief moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he comes across Moby Deep, and he gets knocked off of him, and then for a brief moment he swims back and crawls up onto Moby Deep's back. And he says, I can't swim. And it's like, you just did a few minutes ago.
Yep.
It's like, you just did.
Oh, wow.
Like, it'd be one thing if he said, I'm not good at swimming, but like, no, he says, I can't swim, even though there was a shot seconds ago contradicting that.
Should have just had the line of, I can't swim. Very good.
Yeah.
I can't swim. Good.
I can't swim. Well.
Yeah. Like, I don't swim very well, you know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I might... Yeah. Sorry, just continue.
I was just going to say that is a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, when I was watching the beginning of the episode, and for some reason my head was just thinking like, God damn, Steamboat Willie suddenly got extreme.
Well, it's in public domain now, so anything goes.
I think it's just because of the overall sepia tone of it that just kind of made it almost look like an older cartoon from the 30s and such.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of those Superman cartoons from the 90s, 30s and all that. The very dark colors, at least, not the art style, obviously.
When I was watching the beginning bit, which is like a Sonic version of Moby Dick, I have been wondering if this would work as a Sonic storybook game with Sonic as Ahab trying to hunt down a mighty whale.
No.
But how many levels can you come up with? Because there's not many settings.
Oh yeah, it's just the town.
Unless if
and
it
the
was-
sea. Yeah.
Unless it was part of a collection of nautical tales.
Fair enough. It would be a
yeah.
nightmare game for Sonic, nothing but water levels.
I had imagined
Who says
Tails.
it has to be Sonic? It can be another character who's more adept to water.
Yeah, like, something out of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah, Little Mermaid. So, yeah, Little Mermaid.
I think
Moby
that
Dick,
was done as an
20,000.
Evil Doc parody.
Yeah, I did it in a parody once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet they never took that idea. Shame on them.
How dare they?
The most I remember was that one spoof that he did for one of the Kingdom Hearts final mix bits where Aladdin gets like tossed into the sea and rubs the lamp, and instead of the genie saving him, he just bursts into song singing under the sea. and then Hades joins him for no reason.
Oh, yes.
He's collecting Aladdin while he's drowning. But might as well sing while he's at it. Why not? Silly cartoons. But yeah, fun episode, great backgrounds. Yeah, anything else?
It's just a fun episode.
I noticed that the sea monster in Sonic's Nightmare looks a lot like Dingo. Dingo.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's that same face look. Yeah.
Makes you wonder if it's
He
like
doesn't
a...
have,
Yeah, go ahead, Scylla.
he doesn't have Dingo's glasses, but other than that, yeah, it definitely looks like him.
Makes you wonder if it was a monster designed for another scener that's deleted and then they just repurpose its design. Because I do notice this show uses very few enemies that aren't those two characters. Like, Sonic almost never fights a random monster just for the heck of it. It's always directly connected to Dingo and Sleet.
Well, I also wonder, since it's a dream, maybe it's his subconscious, kind of taking over to what he perceives as dangerous or as a threat.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, fun
so-
episode. Yeah, go ahead. Scylla.
I just rewatched the moment where like Captain Squeege absorbs all the water from the bottom of the boat, and it's so funny because like he doesn't run down the stairs; he basically just falls down the stairs to get down there.
Kind of almost waddling in a degree as well, just like.
It's a pretty awesome character. And in that regard, comparing him with SpongeBob is a smart idea because it does have that kind of same surreal sense of humor to him.
Yeah.
And of course he's like, man that builds buckets and such, and goes down with a bucket, but yet he never uses it.
No, he can use himself.
It's like, all right, I'm a fucking sponge.
I'm finally rehydrated.
Pretty awesome character, yeah. You should showed up more.
Yeah, he was a fun character. Yeah.
Okay, here's a funny thing. This episode came out 6 months before the first episode of SpongeBob.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
Yeah, SpongeBob.
Yeah, this is the real Sponge Boy. Back when he was originally going to be called that.
The SpongeBob prototype.
A pirate that just sucks up all the water.
There you go.
Yeah, absorbent and grey and porous is he.
I also noticed when Sonic fixes a hole in the boat by slamming wooden panels to it, he calls one of them wet paint. Like, is that a weird joke?
Yeah, I noticed that as well. There's no need to paint it.
I mean, it is wet, I suppose, but where's the paint come in?
I don't know. I guess the wet thing is because, like, oh, they're in what? They're out in sea, so let's have water jokes or something. I don't know.
Well, no, because like he actually has like paintbrushes as he's reassembling everything.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't even notice.
I must have missed that. Yeah,
maybe.
But he doesn't paint anything, so
it's just for show.
Yeah, it does seem like something he would do, though. He would take the time to paint over it to make it look more normal, but he just doesn't.
Well, he just really wanted to make the joke, so he brought his brushes for it, but then forgot to actually paint.
Yeah.
It's just for show. But yeah, that was this fun episode. So we'll talk about the song later when we finish the other episode. Or shall we do it now? Shall we immediately go to the song?
Might as well just do the next episode.
Yeah.
Make it best.
Alrighty, and the good news is, because after they sung, they immediately explode the bad guy's ship. So if you don't like the song, then I guess you agree with the villains. Submarines literally explode.
Well, sound does travel faster and louder underwater, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah, and sonar can be used as a weapon. Like, for some marine mammals, it could be used as a biological weapon.
Indeed, Echo the Dolphin, once again. Anyway, the episode everyone was looking forward to, the cross-dressing episode. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Who wants to do this synopsis?
I'll do it.
Alright, Sala, you're in.
Hey.
You said for a quiet voice.
Sorry.
I'm gonna regret this.
No, I like this episode. So it starts off in this desert nation where a street rat type person is being cornered by SWAT bots, but he obviously escapes by, street rat stuff, knowing the lay of the land and stuff. You can escape. And meanwhile, Sonic is currently cleaning the mud off of the van.
Hold on. We gotta play the Sonia's video.
Oh, sorry.
Sylvia's
video.
Oh,
Sylvia's video, sorry.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
Sorry! I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
I
fine.
didn't know that was going to be a
good.
thing.
Best
Interruption.
that you do that. Otherwise, Sylvia would have been like, I put in all that effort, and yet you lot just skipped over it.
I didn't know that was going to be a thing. I thought that was just be funniest moments in Underground kind of thing. Yeah.
Alright, here it comes, the preview for episode 8.
Manic makes a much prettier girl than you, Sonic. Oh, thank you, darling.
Alright, sorry about that. Poor Sala, completely knocked him off his rhythm.
Alright, so, anyways, where was I? I was at, Sonic was cleaning the van. And, the moment Sonya walks in, he's like, hey, you want to help? She's like, nope! And so Sonic decides to just clean the whole thing himself in a second anyway. And he goes up to Sonya and sees she is now wearing a mud mask. And he declares that hypocritical, which kinda, but, whatever. She does have a reason for it. Manic comes back with a scroll that he, I guess, bought. I don't remember. Hold on, let me go back.
It's very confusing because he wears a weird costume as well.
Yeah, he wears like a cloak. I almost think... No, he just gets it. He just knocks on the door and someone hands it to him. So he's got this scroll. It tells him that they're going somewhere, and they go, and it's what do you know? It's the country of where Sonya gets her mud masks from. How about that? Ain't that convenient? And it just so happens, obviously, this Sleet and Dingo are here, doing Sleet and Dingo things.
Is it really the place she got her mud? I thought it was just a joke Sonic made because it's in the desert. Like, a lot of dirt, that's why you get your mask. I thought it was just a joke.
No. She specifically named this place as where she gets the mud mask from.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Never mind then.
So, because Sleet and Dingo are there, obviously, the Sonic Underground thinks they have to sneak in. And Sonic and Manic are content with sneaking in through the sewer, but Sonya, obviously, doesn't want to do that. She wants to just wear a disguise and sneak in. Even though, Sonic warns her, that still puts you in danger if you get found out. But she does it anyway. So she puts on, a shawl and starts wandering around. And as she's wandering around, she comes across... she comes across the boy from earlier.
Ralphie.
Ralphie, yes. He's been smashing scanner drones in order to, like, hinder Sleet and Dingo's progress. And so Sleet had the idea to turn Dingo into a scanner drone, to which Dingo immediately did not like the idea. But he goes around, starts flying around. He spots Sonya for a second, and he oogles over her, does the Dingo thing, only for Rafi to jump out and smash him. And he bounces off a wall, hits Sonya in the head, and she's got amnesia. Wow, So he grabs her hand and like leads her through the city, and they're like running away from SWAT bots. And she gets to use her super strength for once in a while, and she just picks up SWAT bots and yeets them around like nothing. And she does her Sonya spin, even though she doesn't remember knowing how she knows how to do that. And so Rafi takes
memory,
her,
I guess.
Yep. So Rafi takes her to his home, where she meets his family, and they're nice people. She mistakes pottery clay for more of the mud mask, even though she shouldn't have her memories, so she doesn't really care about mud mask, because we see later in the episode she's not as concerned about her appearance while she's doesn't have her memory. It's confusing. So anyways, Sonic and Manic are completely worried sick about her because she is completely vanished. And like there's not even like, Manic goes and asks the Thieves Guild if anyone has been arrested in the area recently, and surprisingly there's been no arrests recently. So then Sonya and Rafi go and sell pottery to a very pig-like four-armed alien voiced by Gary Chalk, because of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they haggle the prices, and meanwhile Sonya's like, I need to get these people some food. They don't have good food at their house. So she gets some bread, and she doesn't have enough money for the bread because it's very expensive bread. And the shopkeeper's like, I'll buy your medallion off of you. She's like, no, this thing feels important. He's like, I'll give you even more money. She's like, sold. Just gives it to him, takes the money and the bread, and buys a whole bunch more food. And then, but the shopkeeper was working for Robotnik. He gives the medallion to a SWAT bot who just unceremoniously flies away without even so much of as a thank you.
Yeah. Wee.
So Manic has the bright idea. He's like, I know how we can find our sister. A song! Because that's the solution to almost anything.
Music does have a positive effect when it comes to memories.
Yes, absolutely. It is a good idea on Manic's part. It's just funny that like this is the solution so many times in this show.
Yeah. When in doubt, break into song.
And I love the way he says it. A song.
Yeah. Sure.
To be fair, at least it isn't like those anime where they fix all the problems with card games. What is it, Luke? Sorry?
We need to play Dispatcho.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they play a song, and during the song, a very, very intense and very excitable crowd shows up. And they are into it. This is the loudest crowd of 30 people I've ever seen.
I guess music isn't as common in their hometown.
Yeah, but it's very exciting, I guess. And Sonya kind of gets the idea that, I think I belong to this band. And then, like, that doesn't go anywhere because SWAT bots show up, and immediately they have to split up again. Sonic and Manic start chasing Sonya and Rafi down. And, and my favorite joke from the episode happens where Sonya gets covered in olive oil, and Manic immediately starts worrying about the safety of the people around her. She just brushes it off, like, figuratively, and runs away. And Manic's like, they got her dirty and she didn't remove body parts? Is that our Sonya?
Yeah, that is one of my favorite jokes in this episode, and
And so they're running away, but like she's covered in oil, so she slips and then hits her head on a pole, and suddenly she remembers everything. Shortest amnesia ever.
Well, at least they don't dwell on it like some shows do.
Yeah,
They don't needlessly dwell on it like some shows do.
Yeah, and on the plus side,
So-
at least it's not one of those like amnesia episodes where it's like, oh, he has amnesia. Oh, don't worry, we'll fix that with a clip show.
And
Oh,
also,
God.
we were your family all along, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so props to them for avoiding those tropes. And of course, the moment she remembers everything, she realizes, oh no, she's dirty. Because obviously that's the first. Anyway, they get abducted by aliens, I mean Robotnik. And they get put in a very old jail cell inside of the palace. And Sonic and Manic realize, oh, they've got to sneak into the palace. Oh, but Dingo is guarding the sewers, so we can't sneak in the way we thought we could. So, what if we go with Sonia's idea and go in disguise? And so they disguise themselves as belly dancers.
I don't think that's what Sonia had in mind when she came up with that plan.
She wants to
And
go
they
in
decide... And they decide to seduce Sleet by dancing for him. And, yeah, it's as awkward as it sounds. And while Sonic is distracting Sleet, Manic goes and, like, downloads the blueprints for the palace and finds out, oh, the place we're going is right next to the dungeon, so we can rescue Sonia on the way. And so they go down there. But Sonia has already freed herself because the lock is really old, so Sonia just kicks it down. And she has to run through the sewers to try and save Rafi. And she ends up meeting Sonic and Manic down in the sewers and immediately falling for their disguises herself. And threatens them.
Just leave the roboticizer room and you won't get hurt.
Yeah, she threatens them, and and then they all realize, oh shit, it's us. We're all together again. All right, moving on.
In the most awkward reunion possible.
Yeah, in the most ironic reunion because Sonic and Manic are now wearing a disguise, and Sonia has gone through the sewer. Exact opposite of what their plans were to begin with.
Storytelling.
So, anyways, so they get to the roboticizer room, and Sleet and Dingo are already roboticizing Rafi, and Manic like yells at Sleet like, "Step away from the controls," and then does nothing to stop him, as Sleet just presses a button and slowly sinks into the floor while laughing maniacally.
You will never catch me, hedgehogs. Mwahaha. Yeah.
Do 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 do. As he's coming down.
Manic is just standing there doing nothing. So Sonic has to destroy the roboticizer. But Rafi has already been half roboticized, so now he's got cool robot legs, and now he can kick down doors like Sonia did. And he kicked them so well that they opened the wrong direction. And then Sonia and Manic and Sonia get back in their van and they leave, and because the bit of wisdom that they came all this way here for is just a letter from Queen Alina to the Oracle of Delphius, and she's just saying, "Oh, we're gonna have to take different routes."
That
was it.
That tone of voice.
I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to contact you about your insurance.
Your car's extended warranty.
Yeah. Fails a cinnamon IOU. Yeah.
And so the lesson of the episode is that Manic makes a prettier girl than Sonic.
The end.
Oh my gosh.
This episode really wants to be like Bugs Bunny or Tex Avery. I mean, Sleet even reacts almost like the Tex Avery wolf, with all like, ooh.
Yeah. Give me a kiss, babe. Yeah.
Oh, that looks so very nice.
And that's for a kids show. How wonderful. Yeah, what an episode.
Back when kids' cartoons could get away with stuff like this.
Good times.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's French.
Yeah, of course. Nowadays, I'm sure people in like the trans and LGBT stuff, no, they might find this bit offensive with the whole scene of Sonic and Manic disguise. But
Well, they're never really judged by it, so I'm not sure if it's really.
Yeah.
And the only person who, Sonya does, but that's because she's their sister.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So.
Besides, it's just a disguise. It's not like they're dedicated to it or anything.
When I saw Sonic and Manic disguised as belly dancers try to sneak their way in, it does remind me of a certain scene from Battle Tendency where Joseph Joestar tries to sneak in to the lady. They could have brought some tequila as well.
Tequila?
Oh no, I've never seen that, but
haven't seen it either.
It's dumb and it's hilarious, and he kills a couple of Nazis with a bottle of champagne.
Oh dear. Well, also, this episode reminds me of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, where there's an episode where Chip and Dale have to dress up as girls to, sneak into that cat's lounge or something.
Oh yeah.
And this is pretty
Used in the intro even.
So actually did come out around the same time as Sonic Underground, or maybe a little bit earlier.
I think Rescue Rangers is 1994 and this is 99, so 5 years. So
Before then.
Yeah, man, it seems like the 90s was kind of that thing where that was kind of one of the common jokes. It's like, they can't get into this fortress or whatnot. Like, we'll disguise ourselves as girls, and then wacky stuff, woohoo! And yeah, you don't really see that anymore, yeah.
It's a classic. I mean, it even happened in Final Fantasy 7, I think, yeah.
I feel like the last time I've seen... I feel like the last time I've seen that kind of thing happen was with... I was about to say the Three Stooges movie, but it's like, no, the last time I saw that kind of thing was My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. The whole, I'm sure Sal will know this one, the whole episode where Big Mac disguises himself as a long relative of the Apple family just to take part in the whole Sisterhood social.
Yeah.
As I was going to say, if you're ever familiar with the old Carry On movies, there was a movie called Carry On Up the Khyber, where these people have to sneak in dressed as belly dancers.
This is a big coincidence because just before I started marathoning this episode, I'd recently just felt like watching some Three Stooges shorts, and one of them just so happens to be Wee Monsieur. And there's this one scene where they're like trying to save this captain of the guards, and they disguise themselves as belly dancers, and of course get into Three Stooges shenanigans.
I remember the one where they disguise themselves as Santa Claus.
Oh yeah. Oh, who goes there? Santa Claus. Oh, there ain't no thing. Oh, yes there is. We got a present for you. That clunks him. Yeah, it makes it funny that all three of them just disguise themselves as Santa Claus, and not just the one.
Good stuff. Classic Bugs Bunny stuff. Yeah, go ahead, Sella.
There was also a really funny moment in like the final battle in this episode where like Dingo's running at Sonya, and she like does her karate yell like "Hey!" and just trips him.
There's a lot of. Hey, go ahead, Luke. Yeah.
I'll just say one bit I found very weird is when Sleep was knocked out, the perspective of the background wasn't changed that well, so it looks like Sleep looks like it's really really huge.
Where exactly?
Yeah.
In the shot where Sleep was knocked out, went after Sleep.
Right after the belly dancer sequence, yeah.
Yeah, because he was knocked out. But the background still looks the same, and it wasn't changed in perspective. So it looks like Sonic and Manic have shrunk.
Yeah.
Or Sleep grew.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot more of that in a future episode with their weird way of handling perspectives.
They said that
although that's from Ralphie, I'm just like Sonic Manic ditched the costumes.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. They never got out of their costume at all.
Yeah, they never get out of their costumes until the end of the episode.
To be fair, they are in a hurry because they have to rescue someone from the roboticizer. Anyway, there's a lot of fun, quick little gags. One I absolutely love is when Dingo was turned back from his disguise and then he shows up upside down for just a split second. That was like a nice touch. And one unintended joke that made me laugh very hard is during the song where you see a lot of montage of people dancing happy, and then it suddenly cuts to like a terrified citizen being roboticized, and then just cuts back to everyone dancing again.
Oh.
Yeah, like, oh, yay, happy, and then someone has to pay their taxes. Like, yay, happy, and then someone's getting roboticized. And then, yay, happy again.
I mean, it works with the lyrics, but still, it kind of looks funny if you look at it like that. It's like, oops.
Yeah. And in some ways, it's kind of spoiling its own ending, because, yeah, we didn't get to the showing, like, Raffi getting roboticized. Like, oh, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
it's especially funny because like a big chunk of the music video is Sonic and Manic as belly dancers, and that hasn't happened in the episode yet. So it's just like, what the heck is going on there?
Yeah.
Either that or it's a fever dream.
Yeah, it's a fever dream. Too many smokes of that hookah, I tell ya.
Yeah.
And I love the plan that Dingo has to turn into the little robot so that he constantly gets clubbed by the Aladdin guy.
The design of the robot, because it kind of resembles. I like the design of Dingo as a little floating robot because it kind of resembles a Sith probe droid from the Phantom Menace.
Oh wow! Okay. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Roger.
No,
That guy. Oh no, wait, that's foot soldier. Sorry, no.
Yeah.
With the little things that Darth Maul send out.
Right.
Yeah, the little orb things, yeah.
Well,
Baby probe droids.
well, also the reason why he
Personally-
sent Dingo was because the robot drones, they don't bounce when they get hit, but he does. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
really
think
sent
Dingo
out
was
to
like-
be hurt. Yeah. Go ahead, Spell.
Yeah,
please.
another one where it's like, it's like, I don't want to be a drone. You don't get to vote.
Yeah. No, it's I don't want to be a drone. Like, don't you want to be a hero? No, but you don't get a vote.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that I have that in my notes. It's just like, don't you want to be a hero? No.
But you don't get to vote.
You're the bad guys anyway. So.
Well, you don't get
Yeah,
to
just like our
vote.
politicians.
Also,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but the SWAT bots themselves sound a lot more excited in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like they
they
sound a
sounded
lot more
different.
high energy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I get to kill again.
Maybe they're solar powered and that's why they have more energy here.
Maybe.
Oh, there we go.
I would explain it. That's why
Yeah.
they're so lively and cheerful.
Or maybe they're getting heat stroke.
I also love how, like, the entire time Sonya has amnesia, she is, like, unbothered by everything. She is just happy to be here, guys.
Yeah. No, at the same time, it is clumsily handled. It's like, oh, I can suddenly spin, I can do this and that, when, like, you'd think she wouldn't remember any of that. Or at least build up to it where she suddenly remembers, like, oh, now I can do this and that, yeah.
My favorite part is in the sewers. It's like, Sonya, hey, isn't that your name? Oh yeah, they are yelling my name. Anyway, no time. Let's continue. Like, just ignore it.
Yeah.
I do like how Sonic actually sounds genuinely, like, worried when he's calling for Sonya.
Yeah, and they acknowledge that it's her name, but then for no reason they just keep going. Not even like, oh, there's
Yeah.
probably enemies or something. Like, no, just like, whatever.
Yeah,
He
so
is, like,
basically
saying,
it's
well, he is saying, like, I think she's called Sonya. Why do you think she's
Yeah.
called Sonya? It's like, I don't know. Some people are just saying Sonya.
yeah, that whole bit with the sewers, it's like, oh, Sonya, like, oh, are they calling you? Like, yeah, they are. Oh, well, let's continue.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're more like a slow... Because they're walking.
Yeah.
Wee.
Yeah. Oh, the part actually that kind of got a grin out of me was when it's revealed that Ralphie's family does pottery, because I also do pottery.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you obviously don't use the mud for facial.
No, that you want to dry out your skin, go ahead, but yeah, yeah, clay does not moisturize your skin; it dries it out. So, a tip for potters: get hand lotion. It's like, you'll thank me later because, yeah, doing pottery it's great, but it will dry your skin out.
Do you also paint your pots, or just you just bake them?
I do some glazing, yeah. It's called glazing. Because what it is that it's like the glaze on a pot is technically kind of like glass. The the best way I can describe it. Is that when you put it in the kiln, then it melts and it sticks to the pot. There is something called underglaze, which is more of a paint, like glaze. So, yeah, I do a bit of all that.
All right, Renaissance man, women in your case.
Nah, I'm just a Joan of all trades, but a master of none, or I guess a master of one, and that's writing. But yeah,
Yeah.
Still a few years to go. What's up, Ewan?
I was just might as well say, like, do you find it a little odd of how Sonya has like the mud mask on her face, like literally going over her middle eye?
yeah, I was gonna mention that. It's like...
It just looks a bit weird. It's like, doesn't it sting? Are you gonna get sore eyes with that mud in your eye?
Yeah.
Unless she is scowling the whole time, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Maybe she has contacts on.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, even with contacts, that would still sting.
Yeah.
I just like to think that when, like, before she puts her facial on, she just scowls, so her, like, eyebrows are touching, like, the bridge of her nose, and so when she comes out, she's just scowling.
It can be good for your face. Well, your muscles are contorted like that all the time. Oh well, I don't know about beauty. Obviously.
Meh. Me neither, to be honest.
So yeah, one bit though that I ended up sort of like being sort of like a very evil sort of moment for me is like when Raffi's basically having a go at the Potter, like saying, you're taking like the food from the mouths of the children. If I had any children, and my response to that was, and you never will.
Yep.
No.
Oh no! Can't even drink or eat either.
Yeah.
Well, very evident.
Yeah. I just
Oh,
hope,
boy.
for his sake, hopefully he's had his growth spurt. Otherwise, he's going to look very awkward with such tiny legs.
Oh no!
Well, hey, like,
I suppose if he's got robotic legs, he can always upgrade them later.
yeah.
Now
For
we
that
know how
vibrating
powerful
feature.
Oh, well, at least he can open doors now.
Yeah.
Maybe that was another foreshadowing. He's like, "Oh, you'll never had kids," and then his legs get roboticized, like up to the torso.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess in some ways Raffi is like the show's version of Bunny Rabbit, although sadly he's just another one of those one and done characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who we never see again.
It's a shame. I would have liked to see a little more of Raffi.
Yeah, me too.
He was neat, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but of course, if only Manic was very quick, it actually did something when like confronting Sleet to get away from the controls, and supposed to just standing there. It's like, get away from those controls. I don't think so, Hedgehog. Yeah. And then it's like, it's like, do something. Don't just wait for Dingo just to jump on Sleet. Actually, do something.
That was really awkward, yeah. Poor Manic. He's just so embarrassed about his clothes, I guess. Anyway, Luke, you wanted to say
He's
something?
wearing like a long skirt. There's not much you can do in a long skirt. Take it from someone who knows. So.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Fair enough. Luke, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just did groan a bit that it suddenly turned into one of those amnesia plots where like someone gets hit on the head and they forget who they are, or they think there's somebody else. And the way that Sonya was hit, that probably wouldn't be enough to give you amnesia. It looks like just a bit of a slap or something.
It was a bit weak, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I bang my head sometimes, and that isn't enough to like forget who I am.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of which, you know what else this week? The roboticizer that Sonic was somehow able to destroy by just running around it.
That was kind of weak, too,
Yeah.
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 What was it made out of? Foil?
No, it's aluminum. Well, hey, the
Maybe.
door is old, so I guess the roboticizer they had was also old.
Yeah. Maybe it was a first generation roboticizer and they couldn't be bothered to upgrade it. Hence
Maybe
the
one of
slow
those,
robotization.
There was one of those toy plastic ones for Fisher Price.
My first
The
roboticizer.
Age is 6 and up.
That'll be fun. Ah, little toy roboticizer. How dark.
But yeah,
Yeah,
My
mine-
brain just came up.
Sonic merchandise.
Yeah,
Because when
mine-
I was a kid, I had this Biker Mice from Mars teleporter toy, and I thought that would have been great if they did a Sonic version of that with like a toy roboticizer. Like you have put a character in, you have another character that's like a robot on the other side. You flick the switch and it switches round. So you're like, oh, they turned into a robot.
Or transformer that works through the machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah. But I imagine this like sound clip is obviously how Luke felt when he saw the whole amnesia thing.
Oh, that's predictable!
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always get like someone like gets hit on the head very briefly. It's like, oh, I've forgotten who I am, or I'm this person now.
I am the Lizard Queen.
In this episode, didn't really amount to much either. I mean,
Yeah.
they just had to go after a medal, but then the bad guys just have it in their base anyway. So it's not even like they have to look for it or anything. Oh well.
It is. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost like one of those, as you kind of mentioned, like with the first episode we watched, like they were trying to cram so much stuff into like one episode. It's kind of almost the same thing here with the amnesia. It's like she has the amnesia, but she only has it for maybe a third of the episode, and then it's like back to remembering who she is and such.
And it doesn't really have much consequences either. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a little time waster.
Well, outside of getting Raffi partly roboticized.
Well, also
No
losing her
chance for
medallion,
children.
so she can't save them.
Even though she's perfectly capable of just like using her super strength, but whatever. Maybe that's also powered by her medallion or something. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, and that tornado spin that she does. I mean, technically that's not powered up by the medallion.
Nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's kind of interesting where Sonic Prime kind of bothers me. That's just one episode that keeps going forever, and it's like too much. I wish it was more episodic, but Sonic Underground starts bothering me that it's a little too episodic because it feels kind of aimless. Like here, you yet again have an episode where just like, oh, Queen Lena is maybe here, and then just go there and nothing happens, and it just go away again. So I guess the show's not really building towards anything. It's just endless. Go here. No, wait, Lena, it's not here. Let's go somewhere else again. Like,
Yeah.
Catch on.
Yeah. So in
And
other words, So in
And
other
Lee
words,
just
Sonic
happened to
Underground.
be like a few meters away from them in hiding.
all the time, yeah. So this show kind of feels pointless, yeah.
Yeah, I owe you the television series coming next Saturday.
But yeah.
I will say though, like one of my favorite scenes in this is when Sonic and Manic sneak down to to the dungeon to find Sonya, and then she comes up as like this creature from the Black Lagoon, and she sounds like she's about to maim somebody if they don't help her.
Well,
It's gonna
it's understandable
break
because in
the
the fact,
time.
like, yeah, especially because in like how threatening she was. Like, okay, girls, just take me to the robot room, and no one will get hurt. It's like, why? What are you planning on doing to them?
You she's about to strangle them, one in each hand. I think she has super strength. I bet she could have done it.
I
I'm
think she
coming
was
to
trying
a
to molest.
century-year-old shit. I'm not afraid to smother it on you.
She's like, oh, it's molesting time.
Oh no!
Oh no, we've got to do something robotic going daddy. Oh no.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
Anyway,
What the context of that was?
Yeah.
Right, so I guess it's time to move on to
The
Mobius
songs.
Idol.
Oh yeah, hold on. let's
I
play
will
the
one day
jingle.
finish the title card for it, I swear.
Yeah. So here's the jingle, guys, for the what's it called again, Melty?
Moby's, MLT, go ahead.
Wait, what?
How you
the
just
name?
called
Mobius
it?
Idol.
Oh,
was it?
Mobius Idol. And I was saying
Okay.
like, oh yeah, for the thumbnail that I'll eventually get around to it. I'll do it. I'm
Okay.
gonna do it.
Yeah. But anyway, I think now it's time for Mobius Idol.
Are we doing face your fear first, or are we doing?
Yes.
We need to be
face-
free.
We start with
Face
face
your
your
fear.
fears. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we do the face your fear first. Yeah.
Gotta face your fears.
Indeed. So, are you ready?
My first
Yeah.
song.
Ready.
Counting down 3, 2, 1, go.
You've got to face your fear to overcome it. Can't keep your head in the sand or run from it. Show what you're afraid of, exactly what you're made of. Just take a big deep breath and face your fear. If you fall, get on once again. If you keep on trying, you will win. Tell what's got you beat. This time you ain't retreat. Just take a big deep breath and face your fear. You gotta face your fear.
There we go. What a beautiful song.
Do, do, do.
Alrighty, so who wants to begin with their opinion? Melty?
I give it a 4. I just like I'd like me some good old fashioned ragtime tune. So like yeah, it's a nice. The only reason why it's not a 5 is mostly because it's just Sonic only singing dead. We don't get to hear Sonya and Manic sing along, but still I love the beat to it.
Alrighty, Sala, your thoughts?
It's an alright song. It's kind of fun. I wouldn't say it's really good or bad. I just think it's kind of harmless fun. I'll give it a 3.
Alrighty, Liz.
Okay. I think I'm gonna be a little bit generous and give it a 4 because I also do like the message that they have with it.
Alright.
It is all about facing your fears.
Indeed. Okay, fair enough.
And it's something I admit I struggle with, especially when it comes to putting myself out there. But I also like the beat of the song and then the message it has with it. So I think it's a good combination. It's not perfect, but it does a great job. So I'm giving it a 4.
Fair enough. I give it a 5 because I absolutely love derpy songs, and I absolutely love the fact they're singing about facing your fear, and it's just so utterly silly and derpy and happy. Like, no matter what your fear is, death, horror, falling to your death, just play this song and just go through whatever horrific thing is happening to you. Like, la 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 la. Like, I love
I
this.
think
Someone
I think
just,
they're mostly talking about like phobias.
yeah,
so-
they probably mean that, yeah, but you know me, I'm a cartoon guy. Like, I'm just imagining SpongeBob walking through all those monsters with this derpy song. And I'm not scary.
Animal Man.
Yeah, well, it kind of reminds me of the song from Tangled, the series, Bigger Than That, which is a song about facing your fears as well.
Indeed.
And so I recommend you take a listen to it because it is really good. And so, yeah, and it is like, when you are able to kind of put a more positive, like, spin on things, then you find that maybe what you're afraid of isn't as scary as you thought it was.
Indeed, and that's why I love this song. It's so aggressively happy, like it just forcing you through your fear. Like, I'm just gonna cheer my way through it.
Well, I mean, ragtime
You're
is always
big,
been a very
you're better than that. So,
well, yeah, ragtime
what
is
were you
always been a
afraid of? You're better than that. That's from Tangled.
There you go. Applause.
yeah. Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of course, ragtime has always been a very upbeat sounding type of music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke, your thoughts?
I actually really liked it. It's really catchy. I like the old-timey jazz ragtime feel to it. And yeah, I would definitely give it a 5. And also, it reminds me of There's a Million Ways to Say No from Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
All right,
It does
yeah.
sound like that.
There's a million ways to say no.
Ewan, you're the last one. Do you agree with Dingo or do you agree with us?
I suppose I'll probably just put it in the middle, like a 3. Because, I mean, back then I definitely didn't like really enjoy it. When I first watched the episode, I was just like, oh my god. Like, literally being almost like Dingo in the picture. But hearing it again now, it's actually not that bad. And of course, like the little sort of like Hawaiian guitar tune near the end, like sort of moment at the end.
Alrighty.
So I believe that comes to a 24 for this song.
24 pointer.
24.
Not bad.
Yeah, I like this song so much. I listened to it twice.
Oh my. Alrighty.
Left that such an impression on you.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey, your submarine didn't explode?
Well, another submarine or a garden.
No, we'll never find out. Right, the next song. Who do you think you are? We need to be free. Everyone's ready? Then we count down from 3.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Huh? Where did you get? We need to be free like the wind across the desert sand. We need to be free
Like a nomad roaming mystic lands.
Oh, freedom is a golden bird that lets us fly.
And if someone tries to take that away, we will stand and fight.
They're good.
Yeah, but something's missing. I think it's me.
We need to be free like the wind across the desert sand. We need to be free.
There we go. Our wonderful little harem song. Let's start with Ewan. Ewan, you're first. What are your thoughts? Or not.
Oh wait, you want me to actually do it?
Yeah, you're first.
Okay.
You're the victim now.
Yeah, we're doing it in
Typical of
reverse
you,
now.
Like the one moment I have to basically be away from the computer for just that brief moment, and then you decide like, "Oh, Ewan, what do you think?"
Poor Ewan,
Yeah.
always put upon.
Yeah, I mean, so granted, I didn't listen to the song fully, but
Oh,
again
sorry.
though, I did like, but I had obviously re-listened to it like earlier on, and I did actually enjoy it. I mean, my only major gripe for it would have been like, too many people talking over it. It's like, where's the clean version of this song? So I think that's kind of an indication like I might give it a 5 because it's actually that good.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have a clean version. Alrighty.
Yeah, unless it exists on the CDs that Shout Factory used to have.
Nah,
But I don't know, I'll have to double check.
nah. I mean, I checked. I've got the clean songs, but this one wasn't one of them.
Yeah. Oh.
I know,
That's a
shame
shame.
on them.
Yeah. Luke, your thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good song. I do like the way it goes. The whistling goes. I don't know how it actually is, but I would give it a 4.
Alrighty, there you go.
4-pointer.
Yeah, I think I give it a 5 as well. I loved its adventurous sound to it. I kind of like all these adventurous, like almost swashbuckling Arabian music. Pretty awesome. I could make a snide comment about singing about freedom while dressing up as a woman in an Arabian land, but I won't. It's a sensitive topic.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that it would fit really well on a desert level in a Sonic game, and also it kind of has that Secret Rings feel to it.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Elise, your thoughts?
I'm giving it a 5. I think it was really good. I like the instrumentals that go with it. I like the singing between Sonic and Manic, and I like how Manic actually gets some substantial singing parts this time.
Yeah,
So-
that's rare. Nice.
Yeah. So it has a really great beat, has a really great vibe, and I like the lyrics to the song. It's like, and listening to it by itself, even without the characters talking over it, it is really good. It is really good. So I would give it a 5.
All right, there we go.
And also, my boy Manic gets to sing a lot more.
He best boy, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be best boy.
Duh. Alrighty, Sala, your thoughts.
This is an easy 4 for me. Like, it's a really good song. I love how it sounds. I also love Manic's brief, but oh so welcome solo. It's a really good song. I also enjoy the music video because it just includes the random belly dancing and roboticization.
Of course.
But I'm gonna disagree with you, and I think the talking adds to the song because it adds a little bit of the context of like, oh, something's missing and it's Sonya. I thought that was nice.
Yeah. It's pretty much Sonic and Manic just doing the singing. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, it does add credence to that. There is a connection between music and memories. So,
However, isn't it?
It's scientifically proven that music does have a positive effect when it comes to memories. So,
one ironic bit though is if this song is all about Sonya missing it, then why is it one of the best songs? That kind of says something about Sonya not being necessary.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Because it's the first one where she was in it, like Someday. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like granted, like Sonya's singing voice is better than her speaking voice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if every song was just Manic, they would all be 10 out of 5s.
That's a good point.
Yes.
But I suppose maybe the reason why, maybe it's supposed to other reason why Sonya's saying like, I think they're missing me because like she's probably referring to the fact like there's some musical instruments being played that only I can do on the keyboard. So how is Sonic actually able to do that on his guitar?
That's a very good question. Where did he get all these Arabian-sounding instruments?
Maybe he has a setting on his guitar that like changes sounds.
They're magic instruments, I guess. Yeah. Well, Melty, your thoughts. What do you give it?
For me, I'd give it a 4. Has a nice beat and everything. I guess the only reason why it's not getting a 5 is because, like, I guess in some ways the clips kind of spoil like what happens next in the episode. And yeah, in some ways I wish there was a more clean version, but I'm sure there's a fan-made version of it somewhere that someone's done. But yeah, I'd say it's 4. Good show.
Someone give T-Loop some money to make a new version of it.
Okay, and I think that comes to a score of 27.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Interestingly, that is our first 27 and our first 24.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
It's a miracle.
Whee!
Yes, that's right. It's a Christmas miracle, but it's only after Christmas. There's an after Christmas miracle.
Damn me, miracle.
Well, this is
It's
the first proper video we made since Christmas. So I guess the Christmas miracle was just hanging in hiatus until.
There we go.
We actually
It was
joined
just
in at the moment.
we just needed to be free.
Like the wind upon the desert sand.
Like the wind across the desert sand.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I would sing along if I'd remember the lyrics.
Same, but that's the only one part I can remember.
Freedom is a golden bird that helps us fly.
And if someone tries to take it away, we will stand and fight. I forgot some of the lyrics to that one. Sorry.
Yeah, all I could think of was just, we need to be free. We need to be free.
We need to be free. We need to be free.
I liked Mannix. Like a nomad roaming mystic lands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him showing off his like vocals.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I like Underground so much. There's a lot of singing.
I used to take a lot of choir classes back in high school. And a little bit of college, but yeah. It's been too long, I'm a bit rusty with the singing stuff. Singing my bass voice. Yeah.
If we're going to be talking about singing, me, Roger, and Sylvia did some karaoke on New Year's Eve.
that went well.
Nice.
It was brilliant.
You were pretty good. I wasn't. I couldn't keep up with the speed.
You did that Dare to Be Stupid song pretty well.
Oh, thanks. Weird Al. Alrighty. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll do a karaoke on Dissected Alive once. Oh, poor audience. Poor audience.
Dissected Alive, the musical.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Alrighty, so shall we move on to Fleetway?
May as well.
No, nobody.
Yeah.
Even though
I was just looking at
stuff.
Yeah, I was just looking at Sylvia's question there. Yeah, yeah. Should the guys and gal sing the winning song after the last episode? I think after we finish the series, we should just all do like singing the theme song.
The theme song would probably be the winner anyway. Sorry, do I?
Oh boy.
I actually like Sylvia's idea.
Oh no!
We all
Hey,
do
I'd
a
be
cover
up
of
for
the
that.
best song.
But very poorly.
Yeah, that'd
Or
be
we do
fun.
a cover of our favorite song.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Sonic.
That would be
Yeah, the best of Sonic Underground, the musical. Yeah.
Anyway, I quickly need to get something to drink, so at least you sing something for our audience. Sing a Sonic Hero song. Why not?
Oh god, no.
I can sing a song.
Oh, sing "We're All in This." Oh wait, wrong version.
I'll have to have the song playing in the background. So,
And do a question.
Actually- and it might be just a little awkward if I don't have any music to go with it. But-
We'll just go all Spiral Mouth and provide it. Yeah. Doom, doo, 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 doo.
Wheels
there is one song I really want to sing, but we haven't covered that episode yet. So,
Well, I thought of one bit I could do. It's yeah. I am the very model of a model mates general of information, vegetable, and animal and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the fight historicals, mathematical Waterloo and not a categorical. I'm very well acquainted with the matters mathematical. I understand equations both the simple and grammatical about the body and theorem and teeming with a lot of news. With many chief facts about the square and the hypotenuse. And many chief facts about the square and the hypotenuse. So many chief facts about the square and the hypotenuse. And many chief facts about the square and the hypotenuse. And that's all I can do.
Oh man, you're quick! I mean, I can't keep up with that speed.
I guess I could probably do at least the first part of the Sonic Underground theme.
Oh really?
Just right up to after the first verse in choir.
Luke should be awesome. He can really do well with heavy metal. But yeah, if you want to try, go ahead.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm just a little nervous, but... Okay, Triplets born, the throne awaits. A seer warns of a deadly fate. Give up your children, separate. Bide your time, lie in wait. Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found.
Sonic Underground.
I think our audio can't
That was
survive your
awesome.
awesome singing. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yay.
If I have to do a parody, I guess I have to include that as the theme song.
Yeah, we should just all sing the theme song. Yeah. Sonic Underground in minutes.
Go boy.
Sonic Underground in minutes. That's what we do here. And I'm bad at improv.
Well, you'll get there. But it
Yeah.
depends really if it ever happens.
One advantage of making a parody of Sonic Underground, I can make the animation extra strange and bad, and it's all part of the joke this time. I didn't screw up. That's just homage to the original series. Even though the actual series is pretty awesome animation, so I shouldn't really bash it that much. But yeah, sometimes there's some silly shots in there. But man, the intro's animation is amazing. It's so smooth.
It's one of those shows like, oh yeah, the intro is amazing, and then the animation of the actual show is not the same level as the intro.
Yeah. I did recall hearing that they handed the opening intro animation to a company in Spain whilst they had the company Hong Animation Group apparently doing all the episodes.
Oh really? Yeah, one studio for
The
all
thing
the
is,
episodes?
Well, yeah.
that's the thing, is like usually the intro will be better because it's something they can reuse, and they'll always put more effort into animations that they can reuse, which is like why Sailor Moon's transformation sequence is so elaborate.
And Scooby-Doo's walking cycle, I guess. Of the original series.
It's very evident in Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon, where the intro looks very anime-ish and the actual episodes look very crude looking.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
Boom.
Classic stuff. Right, then we shall move on to Fleetway. Oh boy, a whole bunch of them to go through.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
how many of you
like,
did their homework?
I did all of. I've done most of it. The ones I haven't done is Knuckles, because I imagine someone will want to be talking about a particular three-parter story. Luke.
Yes, I'll be interested because it is so batshit insane.
I think by the time we covered the second Sonic Underground episode, I think I just managed to catch up with the Fleetway stuff we had assigned. But yeah, there was just so much confusion about like how many we're doing. Like, oh, we're doing 4. No, we're doing 2. 4, 2, 4, 2. Hike.
4, 2, 4, 2.
Well, I'm used to the Sonic the Comics having a bunch of other Sega franchises, so we can skip them. But this time, like, every single comic was relevant to us, which is a little too much.
Yeah.
Now we have 11 stories to go through. Like,
I
Yeah,
know, and that was when Roger had a bit of a
mental
angry
breakdown.
rant
Yeah.
at me. He's like having a go at me. He's like, "Why did you have to go for 4 issues, you and there's like
Yeah,
every single story too much. There's
Yeah,
too
we're
much Sonic." And my response to that was, "Yes, the floor is made out of floor."
Yeah, we're definitely reaching that point in Fleetway where every story is always Sonic related. We're not really gonna get any lesser stories or random franchises anymore. Well, I know in the
Besides
like
Cap.
Well, yeah.
maybe Decap, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
'cause-
like much later into the I know like near the end of the series run, or at least original stories per se, we do get to see less stories in per issue. But yeah.
Yeah, Decap Attack was the longest running one because it was so popular.
Yeah.
Just, in contrast to the game itself.
Yeah, for reasons that will always remain a mystery. Yeah.
But it is one of the most British stories of these comics, yeah, so I can imagine
Yeah.
their popularity, yeah.
Yeah, I think the writer must have had fun doing that.
I bet the
Considering
artist
how-
as well.
Especially since he's the one who kept drawing it.
All right.
Yeah. Where's the stuff? Yeah.
Some baby.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, let's go to, as Goffroff says, freaking Bubbles! Bubble Trouble!
Yeah.
Bubbles!
Fucking bubbles!
And we finally get Aquatic Rune from Sonic 2, I assume. So, who wants to do a synopsis?
I'll do it if you want to. Like I said, I've written most of all the stories down, so I can at least say it all. So you don't need to do any of them, Roger. You just got to make sure that you keep keep the pages synced to what I'm saying. At least that's all you got to do at the point. Okay. Sorry, Bubble Trouble. After dropping his most iconic line, Robotnik tells Grimer he's been reviewing the footage he has of Sonic, noting Sonic can't swim, though Grimer points out to Robotnik that Sonic usually relies on air bubbles from the ground to prevent him from drowning. So Robotnik orders Grimer to turn those air bubbles against the blue spike ball. Some days later at Labyrinth Zone, Sonic and Tails arrive to respond to a distress call, revealing it to be an obvious trap that Sonic wanted to go for because he wanted some action. Some spider bandits reveal themselves with their fire breath. One of them swings from the ruins, knocking Sonic into the water, and into some spiker badniks, which Sonic quickly dispatches one of them. Running low on air, he hurries to an air bubble source to gasp in some air, but then gets enveloped into an air bubble that he can't pop, even with the assistance of a spiker badnik. Meanwhile, Tails has his hands full with the spider bandits when one manages to tie up Tails with its webbing. Back in the water, the bubble is starting to shrink as Sonic is using up the air in it. He realizes he needs to get to the surface fast. Grabbing 2 spikes from the spiker badnik remains, he uses them to climb his way out of the water to Tails and the spider badniks, where one fires its flamethrower at Sonic. Really should put more commas in this one. Which melts the bubble, freeing him. Sonic then proceeds to destroy the spider badnik, as well as showing they can't pull the same trick twice. Back at Citadel, Robotnik, the evil ruler, and his assistant see that Sonic has won again, though Robotnik sees it as an encouragement to make future traps much nastier.
The end. Oh, it's just Labyrinth Zone, not Aquatic Zone. Bit of a waste opportunity because it looks more like Aquatic Ruins, but oh well.
Yeah.
It's Labyrinth Zone, and it's Labyrinth Zone, and yet it features something from the Game Gear games. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, Sonic 2 Game Gear specifically. Man, I love the backgrounds and the character art here. It looks beautiful. It's awesome artwork.
And of course, Robotnik dropping the iconic line, "I hate that hedgehog."
Of course.
Like dedicating an entire panel just for that one moment of him just pointing. You don't see his mouth either, you just see the top of his head.
Yeah, in fact, that pose that he does, it actually looks similar to something that he does on Adventures of Sonic. It's just more cut out.
I actually love the panel where Robotnik is gloating at the monitor. It's like he found some really naughty stuff. It's like, aha!
Pornhub! It's like, Pornhub, what a delight!
I finally got my Rule 63 pics of Rouge.
Oh my.
Yeah, Rule 34, yeah.
Rule 34. Rule 34 of Rouge.
Rule 63 Rouge is...
Yeah, that's gender bender.
Oops.
Rouge, yeah.
Maybe not that. No, I don't know. I don't judge.
Maybe he's into that. Yeah.
Maybe he goes both ways. Yeah, he goes both ways.
Whatever turns his penis on.
Yeah, his penis. You know, gotta love that penis.
Anyway.
Jeez. Oh no.
But yeah, I kind of find it funny, like how, like, when Sonic's climbing out of the water, and yet that's Spiker Badnik is just looking, oh, Sonic is leaving.
Yeah.
Either he's sad that Sonic's going, or he's just like upset, like he didn't get destroyed.
You ruined my hair, you Sonic.
It's like, oh, come back.
I wanted to fight. Poor little fella. Yeah.
And of course,
I do like that Sonic got the idea to climb the wall from Knuckles.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. Fun little detail indeed.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna like try and use the shards to like rip off the bubble in some way. It was like, no, he's wall climbing.
Well, he did kind of try through the enemy at first, but that didn't work. So I guess that's why he didn't bother again.
Well, I guess some ways he tried charging at it rather than like you know, really cut into that bubble.
True. He could have done more. Oh well, it's only a 6-panel, 5 pages comic, I guess. So.
But yeah, I suppose with the spiker, at least from Sonic 3, they do have a tendency of having fake spikes, because when you try and jump on them, they just make you bounce.
Indeed, yeah.
So that's obviously why it wasn't that effective.
For some reason, I really love the Tails when he's rescued. He looks so super derpy. It kind of makes me laugh. I was like, and he's like super happy. Like, oh, one side. He's so inconcerned about everything happening to him. Like, he's tied up. There's explosions next to him, and just he's so completely oblivious.
Oh boy, Sonic! Yeah.
Also interesting sort of random badniks.
Yeah, with the risk of sounding like a bad Sonic fan, but are those... I don't recognize those badniks. The spiders that swing around and use flamethrowers? They look like cool badniks, but I can't remember them from the games.
I don't know, for some reason the designs make me think of something like that came out of Sonic Labyrinth or some other Game Gear Sonic game.
Look more like Sonic CD enemies, but I don't know.
Sonic does specifically call them new, so maybe it was an original design.
Oh. Still, they look like awesome robots, so someone should put them in a fan game. Sorry, Ewan, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the only closest thing we get to something like that is the, are those, like, spider-type badniks from Chemical Plant Zone?
Yeah, that hug you and then explode. But,
yeah, I mean, that's probably the only closest thing.
I guess so. Yeah, a kind of cool design, so if anyone needs gameplay ideas, here you go, I guess.
And, of course, Robotnik looking very ominous when he's like, "Oh, I'm going to make my next trap much nastier, Grimer. You just wait."
Even more nastier.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong panel with Eggman excited about the monitor. Sorry.
Unrelated.
Yeah, Luke. Go ahead.
Unrelated, but I was having a quick look through the review of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and what the graves for it, the cons for it would be that you're left eating cold dinners for weeks.
Yeah. Because it's that addictive, but also very annoying.
I know. For the longest time, I never got around to beating Sonic and Knuckles, mostly because I got stuck in Sandopolis Act 2. But then when I plowed through Sonic Origins, it's like, okay, I'll finally beat this game and unlock the secret zone and the super emeralds and yada yada.
Yeah, I remember as a kid being stuck there too. You had to jump specifically on a sand glide somewhere, but it's confusing.
Yeah. But yeah, in some ways, like, yeah, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, like, yeah, they're good games, but playing them together is like, I don't know, that might be a little bit too long for my taste. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one that's into that. Like, oh, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is too long.
It's quite a marathon, especially when you get stuck with the infamous Carnival barrel and indeed Pyramid Maze. Oh, well.
Yeah, the barrel. At least with Sonic Origins, they were nice enough to add in unique animations for the barrels.
Indeed, they did.
Yeah.
Right, shall we move on to the next one? Yep. Knuckles, Troubled Waters, Part 2, I think, or Part 3? Whatever.
Yeah, Part 2. Yeah, Part 2.
Melty, go ahead.
Alright. So, right, where we last left off, we had Knuckles succeeding in helping out with, dealing with a bunch of group and the captain guy. So it's like, oh, here's this chest that might help you in your, trying to bring back your people. So he's making his long journey back to Angel Island, where he comes across Claw Grip from Mario 2. Oh, sorry, I meant Captain Claw. So right, so this is where we left off. It's like, oh, a battle begins between the pirate captain and Knuckles. So there's a lot of fighting around. Knuckles tries to charge after him and bumps with the ship, and so it's like, okay, I'm gonna take the high ground, and Captain's like, oh no you don't, and starts wrecking the weird rock structures, which start falling over. So Knuckles just keeps hopping over. It's like, okay, this is getting too silly, but eventually he runs out of room, and then by the end of it all, the captain ends up damaging himself with all the rocks falling down. And he's like, you've defeated me, matey. He's like, yeah, well, I'll need some kind of transportation. And then, then he freaks out like, oh shit, where's the chest? It's like, oh, there it is. It's right over there. And so it pretty much forces the captain to take him and the chest to dry land. And the captain's all complaining like, oh, this is disrespectful. I was a prisoner at war. I have my rights. Like, oh, shut up and keep roaring. And then it ends.
Oh, well, he ended up better than Anakin when his opponent had the high ground, I suppose.
Yeah. It's no use, Captain Claw. I have the high ground.
Do it. There you go.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised it kept to survive. It almost looked like a death scene when the rocks collapse on it, with a close-up and all.
The look of, oh shit.
Yeah. But he got off wonderfully. All he got is a little exercise.
Yeah. And as he and Knuckles row off into the sunset.
A nice-looking sunset. Beautiful painted again. Good art.
Yeah, very nice, vibrant colours there.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Very nice.
Playing some romantic music.
There you go.
Feel the love tonight.
Knuckles and Lobster, shipping them forever.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty much simple enough sort of story, like, Knuckles like accidentally basically utilizing the pillars to end up defeating like Mr. Krabs.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs.
Cracking crabs. Alright, nothing much to say, so I guess we move on to the next one.
As per usual, good art.
Tails, Mystery Villain. Very good art, yes.
Maybe I could do this one?
Sure, if you want to. Start.
Okay, Tails the Mystery Villain. Okay, in this story, Tails ends up in the Grim Zone, no relation to Prime, and notice how it's all covered in horrible-looking factories, when suddenly he gets accosted by a mystery badnik who's really pissed off with him, going like, oh, you wronged me, you made me like this, but Tails doesn't know what's going on. So he tries to evade all the blasts and gets captured, and then escapes all the blasting of the robots. And then he gets cornered in front of a chimney. But Tails gets out of the way as the robot blasts the chimney, which falls on top of said robot. but it turns out that it's Metamorphia the whole time. Metamorphia is like really upset and really depressed because as she kept feeling Robotnik all the time, he took away her powers, and thanks that now she hates Robotnik so much she's not going to work for him ever again, and has a change of heart. And apparently she has a little bit of morphing power left, to turning herself into a little girl so she could start a new life, which made Tails very happy. The end.
Ah, what a heartwarming little story. Yeah. Well, what say you?
Yeah.
And Tails dropping a bad pun at the end.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I call reforming.
Fleetway Tails trying to be like early Archie Sonic Tails.
You Brits love your puns. When I was in England the last couple of weeks ago, I couldn't walk across an entire street without seeing like at least 5 puns. You people.
Yeah, I do find this a good story because it brings a closure to Metamorphia's story arc. Because didn't she start off pretending to be a little girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it ends with her becoming a little girl once again, but as a good person.
Yeah, it's a nice circle. Yeah.
Although I do find it odd that Metamorphia now has gray fur instead of orange fur.
Yeah, I think it was probably the color guy that didn't have the her actual color sheet or something. Hence why she's wearing a green suit as opposed to purple.
It could indicate what she would look like with her powers taken away and like how far she has fallen.
I was about to say maybe when her powers were drained, that also had an effect on her fur.
No, I think she still had her orange fur when she got her shape-shifting ability taken away from her. Yeah. Now she just kind of looks more older.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason. Like, when she took the morphing powers away, then like, oh, now you can age. Mwahaha. Now she's a lot older. Poor gal.
Indeed. But now all of a sudden she's much younger again, so... not sure
So
if...
everyone wins.
A very happy ending indeed. How wonderful.
Yeah, she had a change of heart, both metaphorically and physically.
Yeah, kind of surprised. So far, Fleetway didn't really have any redeeming stories. Most of the time, bad guys are just bad guys. So
Yeah. Again, this is pretty much the end for Metamorphia. Like, I know she has a cameo in a much later story, but no, this is the end for the main character or main story.
all right.
Yeah, and her, of course, not looking like super terrifying, like how she first appeared with like the big toothy grin that she always kept having.
Yeah, the slit eyes and the toothy grin.
Yeah.
This art sells easier than eyes. Yeah. Sorry, Ewan, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's done by the same artist that initially drew her years ago, I believe. But I think, like, because of the complaints, like they simply told him to, like, tone it down, man. Like, seriously, you don't want to. I know you want to scare the kids, but we don't want them to, like, shit their pants type of scared.
Even though her final transformation does look kind of terrifying, it could look in the the Thing movie or something.
It's like, okay, I'll tone down the scary images and just turn her into a Care Bear or Teddy Ruxpin or whatever.
No, I mean before that, the panel before that, when she turns into the cute girl, that looks still kind of terrifying, like out of a horror movie. Without the context, but yeah.
Yeah. Almost with a sort of like, "Guh?"
I do find the panel where Tails closes his eyes as the chimney falls on top of Metamorphia looks a bit strange.
A bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, it just looks like he has his eyes closed and there's like scorch marks on his eyelids.
Yeah.
With a double chin.
Oh yeah, double chin.
Yeah. Like, that's gotta hite.
It fits well with the face expression of the robot before it got hurt. Also has like a nice oh shit moment. Like, oh no.
Yeah. Because much like during the whole time, it seems like it is kind of like smiling in a way, but then its mouth just turns upside down. Literally.
Yep. Oh well. Yeah, Sylvia said kind of weird that an adult turned into a kid, but I guess, I mean, is he stuck in this form or is he just going to grow up? I was kind of wondering about that. Can't you just have eternal youth by just constantly turning into a kid? Is it only an aesthetic or does it genuinely change your innards? I guess we'll...
I don't know. I guess maybe this was like more of a second chance. Like, oh, she couldn't age because she was just one of Robotnik's creations. And then when she turned good, it's like, oh, okay, we'll give you a second chance. So, start from scratch, as a youngster and grow up to be a good scientist or whatever. Yeah.
Fair enough. Guess we shouldn't think too much about it. It's just a nice little fairy tale. Oh well, fun story, nice little closure. Guess we'll move on to the next one. Mega Droid. Well, Ewan, you desperately wanted me to add this story, so you can tell.
Well, I was basically, I was inquiring, like, should we do this or not? And like, it was Sylvia kind of indicated, like, not. Well, unless you've got something to say, then no. It's like, okay, then never mind.
Yeah, we
But
never
then-
really got a clear answer for that.
Yeah, and then it's like, when you were initially, you sounded like you were very agitated, like, oh, there's too much Sonic in this Sonic comic. And I was like, well, we could just do the Mega Droid comic if you really want to basically have less Sonic in it.
Well, I wasn't agitated. That's just too much Sonic. Just that's too much work. Okay, fine. But whatever. We have Mega Droids on the move. So Mega Droid is taking care of the Sonic Fleetway comic book because he's annoyed by his job that he has to bring coffee all the time. He's like, no, I want to go on vacation. So he goes on vacation, exotic world cruises, but at that place he still has to give everyone coffee, so he doesn't really get all that much further. And he does such a terrible job they immediately kick him off, so he has to swim to shore. And he gets to Southend by Sea. Oh wait, Pomfret on Sea, close by.
Pomfret.
It's
Yeah, that's the typical
Southend
British speak.
Evil Twin, why not?
Yes.
But there he sees a computer repair store that has a cute robot inside of the inside. So he's like, "Oh, I go work here and I can fix computers. Why not?" So he goes on a date, but he's like a really whiny asshole that he's constantly upset that she doesn't share her chips instead of just buying his own chips. And then he's angry at her that she can dance and he doesn't because he didn't oil himself. I'm not sure why that's her fault, but whatever. So eventually he just leaves and goes back home, and now he enjoys bringing coffee to Fleetway at the end. So, moral of the story, Megadroid is a dumbass.
Yeah.
Well, minor correction. He's not leaving on vacation. He's just leaving because he's fed up with how he's treated with no respect, I'll tell you, being the coffee boy. So he wants to get out and find a better job.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I misread. I mean,
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of. But yeah, it just kind of shows like a different side of like the Mega Droid's sort of character, because when we first see him, it's like treating the whole sort of like Fleetway sort of place as like a high tech sort of like super computer type place of like where you get all this sort of stuff here and there, like all the letters we keep getting and everything. But yeah, here he's now just being reduced to basically a coffee machine.
wah wah. And even all the other jobs he gets still versions of coffee or tea.
Yeah.
Ah.
In a very British setting.
Yeah, first time in Fleetway we actually see Britain itself. So how wonderful. And it's not a very flattering look. Although the bridge over the trains is pretty nice. So. Yeah, you and Luke, is this a good representation of England?
Yeah, pretty much, especially the beach.
How did
Yeah, there's just a bunch of random junk, especially like, oh, there's a plate full of like random bits and a fish. Like, oh, fish and chips, haha.
Yeah. Although, granted, I don't think you would be able to do like mope over a bridge like that anymore, since normally they're all been increased so high up that you can't even see anything.
Aw, that's a shame.
So unless he ends up like literally extending his like lower body just to reach up to there, so he could just like literally lean on it. It's like, oh, I'm so miserable, type thing.
I'm
Yeah.
just alone.
Well, when I was looking at the panel where Mega Droid sees the female robot in the window, I was like, wait, has he ended up in the robot version of Amsterdam?
The red light district. Sure, why not?
Yeah. The bot light district.
The Silicon Valley.
Yeah, Silicon Valley.
Yeah, well, we're in Britain, so there have to be puns everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's got quite the upgrade.
Indeed, she does.
Definitely representing the 90s, therefore them type of females.
Yeah, very 90s. Yeah.
Even having a computer repair shop. Ooh, I don't see those anymore. Well, actually, we do.
Well, I mean, they're still around.
Not as prominent.
Yeah. I just over. Yeah. I mean, they're still kind of around, just like not just differently kind of way.
Yeah.
Indeed, I was wrong.
Yeah, like the most. Yeah, the most I know with repairs is probably, I don't know, Best Buy. Maybe they might have a section of that if they still do that. Eh.
I also looking at the panel of the train station. You got these two fellows there, and I was wondering, are they meant to be based on somebody?
Oh yeah, the old lady and the guy that looks as though he's distraught. Like maybe he upset his mother, and she's like, "Oh, Johnny, I'm so disappointed in you." Oh, sorry, mummy.
No, I think he's just seen Mega Droid and he's like, "Holy shit, a robot! We're all doomed."
I think Luke means that they're so detailed they're probably caricatures of someone, but yeah.
Yeah.
Another way you could see them like their own parody version of Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, I was about to say they do look like Siskel and Ebert in a way. Yeah.
A female Roger. They give Fleetway 2 thumbs down. Oh no.
Yeah, this movie's a load of bollocks, that's what it is!
Maybe that's their opinion on the Judge Droid film that Mega Droid watched.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been better than the Sylvester Stallone one. We may never know.
No.
You must break the law! Law!
Classic 90s cheese. I love it.
Yeah.
The good type.
Indeed. So, anything more left to say about the Mega Droid and his coffee abilities? Or shall we move on to heroes and villains?
Yeah. A three-parter.
Yeah, a big one. So, who wants to do this one?
I'll do it if no one else does. Because I've written it all down.
Right.
Yeah, Ewan is pretty much the only one prepared compared to the rest of us.
He's the only one who was prepared. Yeah, speaking of the musical.
Be prepared, that's me. Anyway. Heroes and villains. In the special zone at Chaotix HQ, Sonic arrives via the Omniviewer, with Vector grumbling why Omniviewer brought Sonic in. The blue blur then tells the blue blur then tells the Chaotix that the special zone is in danger and explains to them that from events previously where Sonic and his out-of-control supersonic form got split into two. With Super being somewhere in the special zone, he's become a huge threat, though the Chaotix take this news with a grain of salt as they are heading to New Tech City on planet Meridian. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Meanwhile, in New Tech City, two groups called the Justice Brigade and the Discriminators are having a big brawl. The Chaotix arrive to assist the Justice Brigade, with Sonic watching on, unaware of who to fight. One wolf guy says, "I am on your side," but then he just whacks Sonic in the back of the head, and thus Sonic decides just to lay him out, because he's not in the mood. As Mighty explains to Sonic about what's going on and such, the police arrive, causing everyone to scatter, including the Chaotix, with Vector telling Sonic that there's a misunderstanding and trying to clear their names. Just as the Chaotix jump into the Omniviewer, Sonic gets arrested by the police. Dun dun dun! Long overdue, I'd say. With Sonic in a prison cell, he is questioned by Lieutenant Foer, if that's how you pronounce it, but gets interrupted when Lord Sidewinder bails Sonic out of jail. Foer? Don't know why that happened in my voice. Foer is agitated by Sidewinder turning up that he should just arrest him for the nuclear bomb incident, but Lord Sidewinder tells him, "Oh, you don't have any evidence to link me to that." Meanwhile, the Chaotix are arguing about that they should maybe have mentioned to Sonic that they were wanted by the police for a robbery that they weren't guilty of. Vector tells Omniviewer to get Sonic out of jail, but Omni can't due to an energy barrier that prevents him from doing so. On the outskirts of New Tech City, in Lord Sidewinder's mansion, he introduces himself to Sonic as well as his associates, Lightmare, Mr. Fry, and Biohazard. Sonic questions why Sidewinder bailed him out of jail. Sidewinder reveals in a room, Super Sonic, where if he brought Sonic to Super, then he would join Sidewinder in taking control of planet Meridian. Sonic points out that Super Sonic cannot be trusted, in which Super basically says, like, "Oh yeah, he's telling the truth," and like, before Lord Sidewinder can say anything, Super blows up the mansion. He blows up the mansion, not the animation. That'd be impressive if he did that.
Stay away from my animation.
Sonic blows up the mansion, and everyone died. The end. Although they did not, because everyone survived. Because apparently Super Sonic decided to keep them alive because he wanted to personally destroy them one by one. As Lightmare scolds Lord Sidewinder for trusting this yellow demon, Mr. Fry whips up a potion that he drinks, becoming the true Mr. Fry, which Super Sonic just zaps him into submission. Though Super's real target is destroying the original Sonic, which the two start fighting it out, with Biohazard jumping into the fight to have a go, only to be tossed aside as Super starts to taunt Sonic that he will destroy everything, and he will do so by starting with Sonic. Just as Super Sonic is moving in on our blue hero, the Chaotix arrive after eavesdropping on the police reports where Sonic was taken to Lord Sidewinder's mansion. Sidewinder orders his crew to attack and destroy the Chaotix. While Sonic quickly explains a plan to the Omniviewer, Lightmare shows Charmy his worst nightmare, which was getting attacked by a bug spray, Mighty dealing with Mr. Fry, and SBO avoiding Biohazard's toxic waste bath. With an epic 2-page fight panel, Sonic knocks Super Sonic into the Omniviewer and quickly gets out, telling Omni to warp Super into a far-off dimension, but Omni refuses as the yellow demon will very likely destroy the dimensions he's in. So the Omniviewer decides to freeze Super Sonic in time and space along with himself as the only way to stop him. Lord Sidewinder and his crew got away, but at least the main threat is over. A week later at Chaotix HQ, Charmy checks up on the frozen Omniviewer where he notices Super Sonic has moved a little since. He considers telling Vector about this, but knows he'll only get yelled at, so he decides not to. The end.
That's not very good. But yeah, alright. So,
To be continued.
and all my animations were blown up. Thanks, Super Sonic.
I enjoy blowing stuff up.
But yeah, so I guess it's the end of the Omniviewer. He's dead now, more or less.
Maybe for now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, for now, yeah.
For now.
But yeah, it's almost surreal to have Sonic like stuck in a police gangster war. That's a new concept we haven't seen before. Leave till Fleetway to put him. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
We'll be seeing a lot of New Tech City in the future, full of different heroes and villains based on comic book characters.
Yeah, because Sonic is basically stuck in the special zone now without the Omniviewer, because apparently there's no star posts.
Uh-oh. And of course the classic joke that all the cops are pigs. So
yeah.
Poor cops.
Exactly.
Black.
Pink lives matters. Pink lives matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, pigs' lives matters, yeah.
Bad jokes, sorry.
Every day, Huxley pig. Oink, oink. It's an old kid's show.
But yeah, awesome art style, I guess, as usual. Pretty good.
Yeah, I actually like the what Richard Elson has done with these characters, especially with Lord Sidewinder and his crew.
I also kind of like what he was doing with all the the Justice Brigade and the discriminators, like all different sort of designs, and everyone big and small, all just brawling it out.
Or even just a dog, a police chief is also pretty awesome. Of course, a cigar chomper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One kid's
Wind
entertainment
crusher.
could still do that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I do kind of like the fact how like the Chaotix just basically just brush off the whole Supersonic thing as just it's nothing. It's like, we don't care about this whole place blowing up, getting destroyed by this like super demonic type creature. We got our own problems at the moment. We got to prove we didn't commit a crime. Exactly. Yeah, they go to the police.
But it's kind of interesting that what Charmy is always like the punchline and everyone kind of hates him, but in here it actually has like consequences, or you kind of leaves information out and all that. It's kind of weird because this is before people really started to dislike Charmy. Yeah, it's almost like here they're already deconstructing that thing that was still about to happen because we're still before Sonic
Fleetway.
Heroes.
Yeah, Fleetway's version of Charmy is so bizarre. It's like, it's pretty much what Charmy usually is, but this was like back at the time when all they had to work with was Knuckles Chaotix, and the instruction manual for that game pretty much is the exact opposite. Like, oh no, he's much more mature and he's 16, yada yada, which is what Archie Sonic did for the most part in their versions.
Yeah, but here they do actually go more with the Sonic Heroes interpretation, strangely enough. So.
Yeah, that is so weird.
Sonic Heroes. They knew in advance.
They traveled to the future
With the power of the Omniviewer.
But yeah, they get weird gags like Charmy's biggest fear being the bug spray, which is almost kind of fourth wall breaking because he's not literally a bee in this universe. So why an actual Earth bee element would be his personal fear is kind of weird. Oh well, guess we're not supposed to think about it.
Yeah.
It's just a gag.
Oh, no, bug spray, my only weakness.
Bug spray, my only weakness. I don't know, maybe some kids went and bullied him when he was young and just tortured him with bug spray.
Ouch.
And of course, Mr. Fry basically just being the whole sort of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of duo type creation. Except here he's rocking the like green hair.
Yep.
Yeah, of course we all know Manic did it better.
Yeah. Oh, good to know. Yeah, and of course Biohazard basically just throwing up everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't call me Mr. Upchuck for nothing.
Yeah. Even SBO pretty much states like, you're the most disgusting villain I've ever met.
Yep. The most British villain.
And I would say I really like the two-page spread of everyone fighting.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sonic just going all over the place, like bouncing off everyone and such, just to get to Supersonic.
Even though he actually does end up doing something, but just looking at the 2-page, I'm almost amused by Omniviewer also looking intense, even though he's just a screen and can't really do anything. Of course, in the end he does, but if it was just that panel, I would have laughed.
And also you got most of the characters just fighting with their eyes closed.
Yeah, that is typical. That is noticeable. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that I look at that, spreadsheet with the Omniviewer and Supersonic, the Omniviewer having that like face and the way Fleetway Supersonic's pose, it kind of looks like he just punched him in the nose.
Yeah.
My nose, you bastard!
Either that, or he's pinching his nose, like, I got your nose.
And Espio almost looks like Espio looks like he's missing. Like he has his eyes closed and can't see where he's hitting, so he just hits the air.
Bring it in.
I think he's just that disgusted by Biohazard that he's just keeping his eyes closed.
Yeah, I'm just remembering that one Three Stooges gag. Yeah, I can't see. What's the matter? I got my eyes closed.
Of course, Vector is completely lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna strike a pose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
Guys?
I mean, it's like kind of like I would have thought like, oh, maybe he's dealing with Lord Sidewinder, but nope, he's just all the way in the background, just losing it.
Yeah.
And of course he grumbles
he really
like,
doesn't know where he is because his eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Especially since he has to deliver the bad news of like, oh yeah, Lord Sidewinder's escaped. Like, well, what were you doing, Vector?
Yeah.
I just gotta dance.
Gotta rock out to my tunes.
Yeah. Beating up to his Walkman, yeah.
But yeah, it's also kind of funny of how like literally the mansion just like explodes suddenly before Lord Sidewinder can say anything. Like, but you said. And like, it's game over, man. Especially if you just showed that out of context.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. It's like, oh, you can't trust Supersonic. He's a monster. Like, oh, you're right, Sonic. Then blows up the mansion.
But he was generous enough to protect them all with an energy shield so he can kill them all personally.
Yeah.
How nice of him.
And yeah, now now they're looking at Mr. Fry like in his non-monster form. He kind of looks like some kind of relative to Grimer in a way.
Wouldn't be
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the weird design, green skin and all that, yeah.
Well, Grimer sorta does have a relative. in one
Yeah.
off comic.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
later
neat.
on he does.
Huh.
So maybe it's like a small line of skeletal green type people.
Who knows?
say
I just figured
really.
he would. I just figured he was that universe's version of Kramer.
That could
Oh
be.
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But then who's Robotnik? Is that our lord? Or is
Yeah,
Robotnik
Lord.
the police chief?
No, I think Lord Signminder or whatever his name is. Yeah, he's their version of Robotnik.
Possibly.
Yeah, it says Sidewinder. Yeah, that's what it is. Because I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this guy in a couple of stories.
Oh, really? Okay. Guess
Yeah.
we'll,
He's never going away.
Yeah,
I
so
always survive.
Always come back.
Do it.
more the sound effect of Sun and Kill from Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah. Right. Guess we're done with this story. Shall we move to the next and the final one, because we're not going to do all 11 of them.
Yes, I really want to do this one because of how utterly creepy and strange this story is.
Village of the Damned. Yes, Luke, go ahead.
Village of the Damned.
Village of the
Okay. Knuckles is busy taking his chest back to his island and is going through a dark forest. It's dark, he's cold, and he just wants to have a good night's sleep. And so, hang on, wait a minute. So he ends up and finds a little quaint English village. So he finds a pub called the Green Man, and he finds that some very strange, shifty characters in there who don't seem to like the look of Knuckles very much because he looks like an outsider. He wasn't sure if he'll be welcomed. But Big Chicken Man takes a liking and he's like, yeah, I'll put you up for the night. Yeah, have a nice... Here's a pint of beer, which is definitely not poisoned or anything. So he takes the beer and he goes into his nice room. But all the villagers, they started murmuring and thinking, yes, he's the one. He's definitely the one. So meaning there's something really strange and shifty going on in this quaint little village. So as he's sleeping, Knuckles wakes up and hears a scream. He thought, oh, it's just an owl. I'll go back to sleep then. Then he hears a scream again. He looks outside the window and he sees a poor little girl, lamb girl, being tied to a rock, being dragged through the street by the villagers, now dressed up in strange cult wear. Or they're going to be doing the safety dance music video. So Knuckles sees that this poor girl is in danger, so he breaks out the window to try and rescue her, which he does. But apparently the girl says, "No, you mustn't rescue me." No, the villagers are like, they're like, "No, he's going to rescue the sacrifice. Stop him!" So Knuckles fights back, so it takes her away. The girl knows a way where they could hide. So because apparently she did say they're going to sacrifice because all the villagers joined this weird cult because they need a sacrifice to the moon goddess to guarantee a good harvest. So they decide to stay here whilst Knuckles keeps watch. But the girl says that she sleeps and she asks him to wake him up in 1 hour. So he goes to sleep, but he found out all the villagers have gone round him. Apparently, the girl has sold him out, and because apparently he is the one they want to sacrifice, and so they dragged him away to this big, giant egg-shaped cage, and they plan to burn him alive to appease the moon goddess. And they're saying like, "Oh, you won't get away with this murder." But the cult leader, he says, "Yes, we will, because apparently Robotnik rules Mobius, and he doesn't care they don't care if they sacrifice or kill each other as long as they don't bother him." And Knuckles is like, "Oh right, I forgot about that." So as they're going to burn Knuckles, he tries to tell them to stop this mad sex cult thing, but they said like. Knuckles tries to tell the girl to stop it, or asking why he turned him in. And apparently, the the girl says that the red one will die at hand if they don't. Then there's about brothers and all that. So Knuckles tries to find a way to get out. So he knocks the cage from side to side and topples it over and rolls it down into a river where he gets out. And so the cultists go after him, and he finds out that the stick or the staff is what is causing all this weird stuff going on, because apparently they're all under a hypnotic trance. So he takes control of the staff, and they all break out of their weird trance. They go, "Oh, what's going on? Were we going to sacrifice somebody?" And it tells out that he's the one who's been controlling them. But then the Chicken Man is like, you think he's under the one behind all this, the mastermind of all this? But it was actually me, Robotnik. And it turns out that he was
Eggmanda.
Yeah, you thought he was the mastermind of this cult, but it was me, Robotnik. So apparently he and the cult leader named Mesmer decided to team up, as he's a very well-talented hypnotist, and he wants to create this whole cult to because of to follow this moon goddess. But it was just a test to see if he could control this whole village. Imagine if he could use these powers to control all of Mobius. And Knuckles tells him that, this will never happen, because as he's all alone, he can take him out right then and now. But Robotnik is like, well, you can't really send me to prison unless you actually kill me here and now. But Knuckles is like, nah, I'm just going to walk off, and just leaves Robotnik just laughing, like, yeah, you run away now. Yeah.
And then Robotnik's head turns into a tomato. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you run away. Yeah. He said, and Knuckles like, yeah, until next time, mate.
More an eggplant than a tomato, in more ways than one.
But yeah, this is such a strange story, because this is obviously based on a British horror movie, The Wicker Man, and by making Knuckles a sacrifice, and Robotnik creating this strange cult.
Yeah, too bad nobody dressed up in a bear suit and punches the sheep lady.
And no bees. They didn't cover Knuckles in bees.
Yeah, this was obviously way before the Nicolas Cage remake. Yeah.
Poor original movie. Guess all overshadowed by that one.
Yeah, overshadowed by the memes, sadly. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the original horror movie?
Yeah, I thought you go first.
Oh, for me, no, I haven't actually seen it. I've only known about it thanks to Cinemassacre's Monster Madness, where he only talked about the original and not the Nicolas Cage remake.
But yeah, Luke is a big fan. Was Michael Caine in this, or?
Christopher Lee was in it.
Christopher Lee, nice.
Yeah, you get to see him in a dress.
Yeah, yeah, I heard he had. I heard he really wanted this film adaptation to be faithful and good, that he was willing to work for free to get it done.
Yeah, Christopher Lee's a big nerd. Like with The Last Unicorn, he also brought his own novel with all kind of lines surrounded it. And you have to put these lines in there.
Same with Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings too, yeah. But also with The Last Unicorn, he also was a big fan of that.
Last Unicorn was good.
Yeah.
Good old Christopher Lee, rest in peace. Yeah, go ahead, Luke, sorry.
Yeah.
I was saying, regarding the original movie, I did like how it builds up the mystery of what was going on in the village, and by the end, there was nothing the guy could do about it. It ended in a tragic way. He dies.
Yeah, like a true horror movie. Like no happy ending this time. He wanted to know the truth, and he knew. Not that it helped him much.
But then he knew too much.
Too much, yeah. Lucky for Knuckles, he's a little bit more lucky, I guess. Helps if you have superpowers.
Indeedy.
Yeah, and the fact that the cage is much smaller and not like a giant person, yeah.
Also helps, yeah.
And I think it is a bit of a clue that Robotnik is behind it all, because of how the cage looks like a giant egg instead of like a figure.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. I've got a surprise. His original outfit kind of looks like Sword the Eagle from Sonic Boom, like the big giant boastful bird person.
but chicken.
Yeah, but I remember when that rooster guy first came on, and like the first thing he says, like, "Oh, okay," and I'm just imagining him with a foghorn leghorn kind of voice, like, "Oh, yeah, oh, a room? Oh, cool. I say, of course we have a room for you, lad." Yeah, yeah. Take our guests drunk to my best. I say my best room, mind you.
I love the artwork too. It's kind of nice to see them hang around in normal location.
Especially the panel where he goes into the pub and you see all these shady-looking characters sitting around nursing their drinks, giving suspicious looks.
I really love the visual of Knuckles walking in like a shady bar like that. I mean, Sonic X also occasionally did that. It's like a great setting for him.
Oh yeah, with the bit with the aliens, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because when you see that, it's just like, you know, fight, 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 fight.
Yeah, barf.
Just waiting to just
Fight,
start
barf,
a
fight.
brawl.
It's kind of odd. It's called like the tavern's called the Green One, and it's like, oh, is that supposed to be like a Grinch reference? You know?
No,
the
it's actually a
one?
reference. It's actually called the Green Man. It's actually based on a very old British, Northern British myth called. It's called the Jack of the Green, where usually to celebrate the coming. I think it's like Northumbria or something, like to celebrate the coming of spring, and a guy would be selected as Jack of the Green. He'd be dressed up in green and then they'll have a parade down the street dressed in costumes to celebrate the coming of spring.
Ah, okay. Because sadly, my only knowledge of Jack the Green was from that one guy from the medieval game where you had to solve his riddles to escape his maze. Yeah.
And now you know.
And that's a quarter of the battle.
It's a
I
millisecond.
did notice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I did notice there's a few. I did notice there's a few particular panels where it became obvious that the white symbol on Knuckles' chest was a necklace again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a Fleetway's thing with Knuckles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought there was a bit more to that.
No,
I think
that was just it.
Yeah. I saw there's like one panel where there's like a bit of a sparkle on his chest there.
Yep. And then there's the panel where he's like holding Mesmer by the shirt, and you can see like his arm on the other side of through the hoop.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, that Knuckles got some bling in Fleetway.
Yeah.
Indeed, he does. Yeah. Yeah.
As well as his wrong-coloured shoes.
Oh well.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have that much reference material back in the day.
I also think probably a bit of an error or something, because I think in an earlier thing the cult believed they were following a moon goddess, but when Robotnik explained his whole plan, he said that they hypnotized themselves into believing they were following a sun goddess.
He can't even keep his own story straight.
What kind of goddess are we following again?
Robotnik just noticed they accidentally spoiled the ending for Sonic Frontier, so then he quickly changed his story. There you go.
I also noticed in the ending with the way that Knuckles is walking away and those like weird Lego bits on his shoes, it looks like one of them's like slipping off.
All right, yeah.
Yep.
Damn shoes. Falling apart on me.
I also like
Gotta
how
re-drill.
genuinely concerned Robotnik seems when he brings up the idea that Knuckles could kill him. Like, and it's his idea too. So like,
yeah, you wouldn't dare kill your old friend, would you?
I thought he made that expression in order to mock him, like, "Oh, you're going to
Yeah.
kill me, are you?" Huh?
Yeah.
I think so, because he immediately snaps back into an evil laugh. So
Yeah.
I guess if he was genuinely concerned, he wouldn't be that quick.
Yeah. And every time I keep seeing the back of Robotnik's head, I always keep noticing he doesn't have any ears, to the point that makes me wonder if he's actually just a big overweight earthworm.
Yeah, well, it's Adventures of Sonic design, so yeah, there's a lot of times where you don't see his ears.
Earthworm Julian.
There you go.
This is what happens when that paranoid worm gets way too insane.
Yeah, gets way too insane and has a hankering for eggs. Yeah.
Indeed.
Also, I just can't let it slide. But Eggman wearing a chicken mask, is that a Hotline Miami reference?
Oh my! Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I get a bit of a chuckle when everyone starts snapping out of their being hypnotized and such, and of course, like Robotnik's in the rooster outfit basically has a sus look to his eyes, like,
Yeah. Yeah, going somewhere, boyo.
Yeah. It's like more sort of like, oh shit, he discovered the power. Oh well.
But yeah, nice surprise to see Robotnik bring back his talent of being the master of disguises from the special magazine specials. Yeah.
Yeah. We knew he was always the master of disguise, fooling everyone.
I suppose it does make me think of like the Master from Doctor Who used to go dressed in disguises, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, from classic series. Yeah.
And considering Sonic himself loves using disguise, it would have been nice if we ever saw a scene of Sonic and Robotnik trying to out-disguise each other. Or both have a conversation with each other without each of them noticing that the other is in disguise.
Like, you can see, like, Sonic and Robotnik taking off their costumes, and you suddenly see Robotnik in Sonic's costume, and Robotnik and Sonic.
You're turning it into a full-blown Looney Tunes scenario, don't you?
I mean, like, something... Well, funny enough, something like that actually did kind of happen in Archie Sonic, although it was more between Rotor and Robotnik.
Oh, yeah, that one. But I was thinking more sort of the way you were describing it, it's just more sort of like when, like, Sonic and Robotnik both notice each other, and they just like, oh crap, I gotta disguise myself quickly, and they all just like, disguise, they walk by and they greet each other, and they're just like, sucker. You know, kind of like The Simpsons, really.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining a situation where they both go so deep undercover that they temporarily switch sides.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun things you can do with a topic, yep. Okay, I think I'll keep it with this, and then we do the other other 5 stories next week. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little too late today.
Yeah, no, it's just...
Yeah, most of them are just one-shots, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to quickly mock the fan art?
Sure, let's take a look at the artwork and stuff. Well, not mock it, we'll celebrate it, because my art isn't all that much better, so...
Yeah,
I know there's like one... Oh yeah, there is one that kind of caught me my attention from the issue 86, and it's that one with the football themed story. Football themed fan art. It's like, oh, there's Sonic on one team, and then apparently Mighty's on the other team, but he's dressed in green, and I'm just like, is that you, Matilda? Which, reference to Matilda the Armadillo, who's Mighty's sister in Archie Sonic. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, poor Matilda. Taken away too soon from her short screen time.
I love the ones from the Olympic Zone, where you got like Robotnik running, screaming his head off. You got Knuckles doing gymnastics with a broken neck.
Yeah,
and
yeah. So it's just like I was going to say, like, yeah, it looks like some very early sort of AI art that basically did that for some reason.
Yeah,
it's just kind of how it looks, though. It's just like looks almost AI generated, like, but poorly.
I think that's supposed to be one of his dreads, but in a way, it looks like his neck has become horribly deformed.
Yeah, either that or one of his own dreads is actually starting to strangle him whilst he's doing all that gymnastic stuff.
Very interesting look, yeah. Other fun stuff. I love the...
And also, sorry, I also want to point out the image of cool Knuckles as a samurai master in Shades. It reminds me of a very old picture a mate of mine drew me from based on the second Matrix film with where he did Sonic as Neo fighting the white suited guy dressed who played by Tails.
Huh, alright.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still got that picture anywhere.
All right, if you can find it, you can send it up. We can laugh at your fan art.
No, actually, when I did do it, a mate of mine did it years ago.
Yeah.
All right.
I was actually sure what's going on with the fan art on like issue 85 on the speed lines, where it's like Knuckles is basically being like a radio DJ, and yet Tails is just above him, just blowing raspberries. Like, I'm just wondering what's going on here.
Yeah, I guess Knuckles isn't cut out for rap, and then Tails is just mocking it.
Like, boo, rubbish.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And then like there's for some reason like Victor's like hiding behind this weird hammer thing. Yeah.
Oh, I
What a
can't.
weird
Was
creature
it?
there.
Was it? I don't know, because it looks a bit weird to be like Vector, so I thought it was more sort of like a character from Mario.
Oh yeah, it does kind of look like a Koopa Troopa.
Yeah. but of course, the moment like Roger kept flashing by, and it's another one of what's her name again?
Who? What?
Lynn Triplet. Is it? Am I saying her name correct? On issue 84, where she does those sort of like Sonic / Knight looking characters with the
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah,
Lynn
good old
Triplet.
Lynn Triplet's art. Yeah, I looked at that. I thought, like, what was the context behind it? Like, I want to know more about these characters, like
Yeah.
what their names, who they are, that sort of thing, because it actually does
Yeah.
look very cool.
What, the clowns or what? Beth
No, it's issue 84 with the
In
during
the
the speed line section.
The page
Yeah.
where the very derpy Robotnik has ruled the world.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, that one. I
Yeah.
love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that and the fancy dog tags that someone made.
Well, no, I think that's the actual prize you get for
Oh, that's the
having a
prize.
letter and
Huh.
such.
All right. I thought that was custom made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, yeah, cool metallic characters. But I absolutely love Derpy Eggman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robotnik.
The art style kind of reminds me of well, I'm trying to remember which one. It's like either Stephen Butler or Patrick Stasinet. Like it's one of those Arctic Sonic riders that had that kind of a flashy look to it from the older issues.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, Robotnik being all like, "Aha! I got to rule the world!"
Yeah.
I wish it was more like that as Forces.
It's when they get on like a poster say, "Come to Robotropolis, you have lots of fun." And you say,
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have cupcakes. Yeah.
But yeah, also noticing like, it's understandable you don't have that up on there already though, Roger. But I was just kind of noticing the 2-page sort of article about the Sega Channel cartridge and like how bloody huge it was.
The Sega cartridge?
The Sega Channel cartridge, you know, where you could basically download the games.
Oh yeah, man, that's a.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing the ad for it now. It's like, man, the thing, how big it is. It reminds me of one of those like
Yeah.
Neo Geo cartridges. Yeah.
In issue 84 or what?
Yep, still 84.
Yeah, 84.
and you got a very nice photo of children's BBC presenter Andy Peters being accosted by Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those
Like-
weird costume designs. Yeah.
Yeah, the old.
Oh wow! There, in another panel, there's a very strange kid wearing shades and a black hairdo. He's from
Yeah.
a British children's morning show called Scratchy and Co.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that weird
With the
hair
deep
bit. That
balls.
looks like a headpiece. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently he was just there, just like dancing and just basically speaking in a very deep voice.
Yes, I remember.
Hi,
that.
and welcome to Scratchy and Co. But yeah, it's just again like such a stupidly humongous sort of cartridge, but understandable why it had to be huge.
Yeah, that's weird. It's like I thought the Sega Channel thing. I thought that looked a bit different, but I don't know. Maybe it's a regional difference. I don't know. Now I'm real curious. I'm just gonna see like if there's any different designs. So, okay, yeah, I see one design that looks like looks like a 32X add-on. So I guess that's the US version, and you Brits got the massive Neo Geo cartridge.
Well, they do show it plugged into a Mega Drive rather than a Genesis, so...
Ah, yeah.
There you go. Which reminds me, one thing I found interesting is they had like a review of Sega Rally. I mean, the cheat codes, but they said it's a Mega Drive game. So, a very impressive Mega Drive game.
Yeah, bit of a whoops.
Little whoopsie. Yep, that amused me. So, what didn't amuse me is this terrifying picture of Baku Baku for the Sega Game Gear. That's this horrifying CGI.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the Game Gear cartridge of it at a used game store close to me, and I never got around to picking it up. It's like, not sure what it is, and then I see that flyer. It's like, holy shit! What is wrong with that monkey? It's like screaming in pain, like ah!
I'm sad to say I actually own that game, but for the Sega Saturn. I got it for free with my Japanese Saturn. But it's a weird columns kind of game. But yeah, it's terrifying looking.
Yeah. I mean, imagine. But yeah, I think even back then when I saw it, I was just like kind of put off by it. It's just like, it's rather creepy. Why is it going, ah?
Yeah, that monkey is like screaming in pain.
But then again, I realised he's like hungry for bananas.
That's really what it boils down to, yeah. It's just about feeding animals. But it looks terrifying.
Bananas.
Sweet, sweet banana.
Someone in the chat. Sorry, just saying, like, someone in the chat saying, like, ooh, I have a Sega Channel cartridge. Quite surprising.
Ah, lucky them.
Yeah. So rare.
Alright. Yeah,
what
must
were
be.
you about to say, Melty?
I think I was about to say, oh yeah, the negative review for Baku Baku is just, don't bother if you don't like columns. So I guess there's that.
Yeah. It's always interesting, the sort of things they always write down, like the negatives, which are not really that much of a negative in the grand scheme of thing. Like, for Panzer Dragoon 2's, like, its graves are, later levels could prove difficult for younger players. Well, obviously.
Yeah, that's not a negative, that's just a fact of life, yeah.
Yeah, that's like video gaming 101. You make the harder levels for the later levels.
And again, with like the next game, like Starfighter 3000, it's basically the same thing again. Like, may be difficult for younger players.
Alright, thanks to the warning.
But yeah, also noticing that they reissued like Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles. And I was curious, like, seeing the price, like, how much it costs. Like Sonic 2 was about £19, and Sonic and Knuckles about, like, £25, which I was like, kind of cheap. But then I realised, you know, you got to take inflation into account. And when I checked, Sonic 2 was about £39 in today's money, and Sonic and Knuckles about 48.
So expensive.
So when I'm looking at the Sega Saturn games where they're asking for about like £45, I'm just like, oh dear, that's going to be super expensive.
Yeah, Sega Saturn games are always so freaking expensive. Unless they're the Japanese version, those are like dirt cheap for some reason.
Yeah,
cheaper CDs probably. Yeah,
it's actually amazing how expensive games used to be back in these days.
Especially since most games you can finish in 2 hours or so.
Yeah. Like, have you ever seen the inside of a Nintendo Entertainment System cartridge?
No.
It's like mostly empty.
Yeah.
There's just like a little motherboard at the bottom, and everything else is just empty.
Yeah.
That's a waste of space.
Yeah.
I guess that's why the ABGN always got good use out of them. Like the one episode, the Dick Tracy episode, where he just drills like a drill like through the cartridge, and it just spins around there.
And Nintendo never learned a lesson, because then you have DS where you buy like a big giant box with a just tiny cartridge inside of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
what a waste of plastic.
And of course it carried over into the Nintendo Switch, the same design model there.
Yeah.
I guess it's just for the manuals, but yeah, still feels like
the Switch doesn't carry manuals anymore.
Oh, so it's even more pointless.
Actually, I have a game on my desk right now for the Switch with an instruction manual in it.
They exist.
I was so shocked when I opened it up. I'm like, oh my god, there's a legit instruction manual in here.
Which game was that?
Oh, like now that you mention it, I actually have a Switch game with a manual, and that's just the Switch port of the first Shantae game, and it's like a reprint of the old Game Boy Color.
It's a pinball game, and I will leave it at that.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So apparently it's that bad, sort of type of pinball game.
It's an M-rated pinball game.
Ah.
Pachinko then.
Yeah, an M-rated pinball game, and I get a port from a company that is usually seen in a negative light. Yeah.
What do you mean, limited run?
Yeah, limited run. Like, I've heard a lot of negative talks about that, but yeah. I don't know, funny enough, I have the game, I just haven't really experienced it, so hey, if the Switch port of Shantae somehow blows up my Switch, then hey, at least I still have the 3DS port that I downloaded before they shut down the eShops.
Blow up like Sally.
Yeah, Guffruff wanted me to show this off because he colored it, so now we're talking about fan art and M-rated stuff anyway. There you go. Any comments?
The stream is going downhill.
Yeah, it's about time we add this thing before we get even more loot stuff.
But yeah, awesome art as usual. Godforth.
There you go.
How you pronounce it?
Yeah.
I don't know either. Oh, so apparently you can put Game Boy Advance games in your DS box. Oh, that's kind of interesting. A gamification.
Yeah, you can actually do that.
Yeah.
I think I've rarely ever used it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever used it when the DS was the hottest handheld.
I do like to use GBA games on my DS, so I don't because the DS has like it's backlit, and you don't have to worry about replacing batteries.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, last time I played a Game Boy Advance game was mostly on my Game Boy Micro, mostly just to test it out physically and record footage when I decided to revisit it for Forgotten Media.
Alrighty, and I get questions about Soul's Ascension too. Again, no, I'm still working on it. I'm sorry.
What is now?
It takes a long time. I'm sorry. I promise it was finished last year, but I vastly underestimated the amount of work.
Yeah.
So,
Patience,
calm your
people.
underpants.
Oh well.
And you know, there is more to life than Soul's Ascension 2, boys.
At least I'm glad people want me to finish stuff again. It's better than being ignored and nobody wants anything from you, right? At least I have a purpose in life.
By being pestered like, is Soul Ascension 2 Part 2 filled yet?
Yeah. And at least it's better than that one guy that's constantly pestering us about random TV shows.
Is it done yet? Is it done yet?
Well, that's the internet for you. You get some. Hey, sometimes you meet some good people. I mean, I met all of you through the internet, so I can't be too upset about it. Group hug.
Virtual group hug.
There you go.
Weeing into the hug.
The internet. Sometimes heaven, sometimes hell. What can you do about it, huh?
Yeah.
Right, guess it's about time we finish it off for today. So thank you for
I
joining
do
again.
want to bring up something.
Yes.
Anyone in the UK? In the UK, we've got this video game mag called Retro Gamer, and I was browsing through an issue I've got, which is issued. I think it's issue 252. They usually post questions on social media saying, "Oh, what's your favourite thing about this game?" And some comments will be printed in a magazine. Well, I was looking through it, and there's like this section where people talk about their favourite Mario game memories. And to my surprise, my comment made it in. So I was really amazed by that. That I have a comment of mine published in a video game magazine, which is something I always wanted to see happen.
Oh yeah, I saw you post that on Twitter. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Where's the round of applause?
So, anyone living in the UK who reads Retro Gamer, or if they're able to get Retro Gamer in their country, pick up issue 252 and go to the section about Mario memories, and you'll see my comment there.
You played Mario Land 2 in 1998? How embarrassing. You should have been playing Wario Land 3 by then. You were behind, buddy.
Well, I was very late to gaming back then because, my parents couldn't afford, expensive video game consoles back then. And when I was 12, I used my birthday money to get myself an original Game Boy with Mario Land 1 and 2. And
I know, I'm just teasing you, but I was playing on the NES at the same time. I think in 1998 I bought Mega Man 2 for the NES, so I was kind of behind as well.
I didn't start gaming until I was about 12. I mean, I did have like an old Amstrad PC, but I only had like 3 games on there. And for Christmas in '97, I got myself a TV Boy 2, which had like over 100 Atari 2600 games built in.
Oh man, I can't play these games anymore. They're too primitive for me. Yeah, Ewan, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying fancy.
Indeed.
Because of like the TV Boy 2 with all those Atari games.
At the time, I didn't know they were Atari 2600 games. I thought they were like those, you know, when you get those like those cheapo mini consoles, and you got like those weird games, but you weren't sure if those are like official games or not. So I remember when I watched like I don't know, AVGN or something, and they would look at Atari 600 games. I was like, oh, I recognise those games. They were on that TV Boy I played. So I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty amazing. I mean, they were very basic, but they were pretty big at the time.
Yep.
Well, naturally, they would be easy to port and create somewhat, very similar with the NES or Super Famicom type games. They were a dime a dozen.
Indeed.
Yeah, might as well also make a small mention that Elise has gotten her recent chapter of her Sonic Legacy released, so go and check it out if you can at Sonic Legacy Saga. Capitals, the Saga's capital. So it's like Sonic Legacy Saga.
Thanks, Ewan, and thanks again for being my editor. I really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure and your dismay.
No, it wasn't my dismay. That's it. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback you give me. It makes my chapters better.
That's a good attitude to have. Yeah.
Positive attitude. What we all crave for and lack. Especially Roger.
Yeah, am I so bad with that? Well,
yeah, pretty much.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Cool, calm down, mate.
They were terrifying.
Oh well. But yeah, just that small shout out.
Yeah, thank you.
No problemo.
Any other stuff people want to talk about? Melting Man, you finished a new video about Nick the Weasel.
Oh yeah, might as well throw in a quick plug-in of the new RT Sonic Character Files episode I did covering Knack's sister, Nick the Weasel, full name Nicolette. Yo, Nicolette, not Nicholas.
Sorry.
Yeah, Nicolette. So yeah, it was just like, oh, Knack's been active, and the recent Knack spin-off comic from IDW came out. It's like, oh, let's have some fun talking about this really obscure character. So yeah, it was nice to go through her stories and whatnot. Even at the whole deal of like, she hijacks the freaking Millennium Falcon and whatnot. So with the whole gag thing that I tried to do, I was originally going to do a bit where Galina calls upon the weasels and it's all like, I summon Dark Magician and Dark Magician with boobs. But then with the Millennium Falcon, yeah, with the Millennium Falcon thing's like, maybe I could do a Star Wars parody. So I asked our friend Addie to do a voice cameo doing Nick. So we did the whole Han shot first bit. So we do it regularly, and then near the end, it's like, oh, here's a special edition version. Where I just had some fun, where it's like the weird head jerk that he does when he moves out of the way. It's like, oh, instead let's just have the head just go flying across the screen, and now he shoots Greedo headless there.
I'm surprised he didn't have say McClunky.
Well, that's the Disney Plus version. I was going with the standard special edition version.
Alrighty. So, Sala, you need to plug something?
Not in particular. I guess I'm starting to stream more regularly on Twitch, but other than that, no.
Alrighty. Then I guess we're finally ready to finish off today. So, everyone say their goodbyes, and we'll tune out for today.
Yeah, don't cut us off this time.
Yeah. So, goodbye.
Cheerio!
See you guys later.
See you next time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And the rumor of Hayden Christensen voicing Shadow. I mean, it's a rumor, but that would be cool if he does. I mean, I like comparing Adventure Sonic with the prequel Star Wars movies anyway.
I hate sand.
Do it. There you go. So I'm all for
I've
it.
been saying, yeah, I've been saying this whole time, like the only acceptable celebrity voice for Shadow would be Keanu Reeves, but
Yeah.
I had not considered Hayden Christensen, and that would be pretty cool.
Oh, you know, bring back Jason Griffith. I'd be all for that.
Yes.
Ooh, then,
That is the correct answer. That's why I specified Keanu Reeves would be the correct celebrity voice. The best choice is just bring back Jason Griffith.
Yeah, bring
Yes.
back that Shadow.
Yes.
I have been wondering if Henry Cavill would work as Shadow if he uses his Geralt voice.
ooh, that would be intense.
Ooh.
Because he could do the scowl as well.
Yeah. But oh well, here we go. Off again, so time to say
Well,
goodbye.
hey, at least we can blame you for the sidetracking.
Nay, Ali! It's Ali's fault in the comments. He said it.
Well, hey, you were the one that pointed it out.
I know. It's my fault. It's on me. I'm sorry. Bye-bye. Hey, I didn't cut us off like you and asked me to, so instead I just sidetracked.
Go to bed.
Go to bed, go to bed, go to bed, go to bed.
Do it.
Time for bed, said Timothy.